Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Way of the Brush with me, your host, Kris, aka the Name Butcher, aka Hey You Get Off My Lawn, aka Kris, you're being creepy again. Way of the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and anything under the sun. For you first-time viewers, we do a lot of painting talk, as well as a lot of what's under the sun, meaning no topics are barred. We'll talk about anything and everything. So we can go off the rails pretty darn quick around here. If you want to help keep the conversation on, the hobby side of things, of course, ask your questions in the chat, whichever direction it might be for you. And if you're watching this after the fact, you're not watching this live, of course, you can submit your questions to Kris@wayofthebrush.com. It is in the description below, as well as right there, And if you're going to send pictures, send them as attachments in the email. Don't send it off as links to other sites just because it's annoying. Won't do it. And it's just really annoying. So, huge thank you. Also, at wayofthebrush.com is the links for t-shirts. Want to get yourself a t-shirt? Look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world. They're wearing a Way of the Brush t-shirt. Of course, if you've already purchased yourself a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt, and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also at wayofthebrush.com. And of course, you'll find a link for Patreon support. Huge thank you to all my patrons. Without your support, this channel just would not be able to continue to go forward. And so a huge thank you. And for anybody considering supporting, there are various tiers at different levels with different perks associated. So, check it out and click whatever makes sense to you. And a huge thank you. If you're not able to support monetarily, i.e. money, thumbing up the video, liking, following, subscribing, ringing the bell, commenting, sharing, all that stuff. All the interactions are gonna, are good. And it'll take a couple clicks of a button, and you're helping me out a great deal. Of course, if you're also a Patreon supporter, you can click the buttons too. Everybody's free to click buttons. Go ahead, click a button. Try it. Anyone. Even the thumbs down. Go right ahead. Click it. In fact, tell me, Kris, you suck, and you can leave that as a comment. And yeah, I don't care. Go ahead. Do it. I dare you. In fact, I'm daring you. Speaking of daring, big thank you to Carl, a.k.a. Guymere Alfer, a.k.a. Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out. Love yourself some beer. You love yourself some Blood Bowl. We always say thank you to Carl, even though he is no longer with us, for taking the time out of his busy day to create the email jingles that play before the email segment of the show. And so always much love to Carl. And of course, speaking of love, much love to my baby brother Evan for creating the intro, outro music that plays at the beginning and end of the show. So always much love to my baby bro, Evan. And if you're into rare comics, like really rare, like Indiana Jones in the temple and, he's got the sandbag and he's trying to grab that little gold, like that kind of rare, check him out. EB Comics in description below. Rare. We're talking like really rare. Not well done. Not medium rare. Rare. Ebb and Flow. Sup, everybody? Sup? Kevin Cabal. Hello, happening hobbyists, and happy Monkey Day. Happy Monkey Day to you all. Lots of things to talk about today. I've recently just finished watching Invincible on Amazon. Yeah, Amazon. Pretty darn good show. I know a lot of you guys were mentioning it to me and, recommending it to me and everything like that. And, it was a good recommendation. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It's a fun play on the whole, Superman and Justice League and, all the other kind of superhero-ness. I had heard somebody had mentioned that it was kind of like The Boys in that similar kind of regard. I didn't really find it that similar, other than the fact that there's more adult content to it, swearing and, gore and stuff like that. No nudity, though. Kind of surprising. If you're gonna whip out F-bombs and eyeballs popping out of head, what's wrong with flashing a little bum cheek or, other parts of bodies. I don't know. I guess realistically, I guess it's just, you know, how far do they want to push it? I think it was only rated like a PG-13, or I think in Canada we have it as rated adult, not adult like adult movies, but like it's like before an R, I think, which is like a PG-13 or something like that. I can't remember, but either way, I enjoyed it. It's fun. It's spoiler. You know, it's violent. It's a play on the Superman trope and, you know, stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, you know, there's a lot there, and it's a fun little universe that it creates. I'm not familiar with the comics. I'm not really familiar with like even because it's from the creator of The Walking Dead, and I know like The Walking Dead was a comic before it was a show, and I know and this Invincible was a comic before it was a show, and you know all that. But you know, yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. You know, I mean, it's kind of, you know, spoiler if you haven't watched it yet, you know, stick fingers in ears because here we go. You know, it's kind of like if Superman was bad. Now I know that there's a comic series where Superman is bad, kind of thing, right? But it also is, you know, what it would be like if Superman had a son and his son had to stand up to him, kind of thing, you know. And yeah, I thought it was kind of hilarious that they have this whole Justice League thing, you know, right in the beginning, and then yeah, they're just immediately smoked. I thought that was kind of funny, not fun, like watching everybody, and like the first time you see somebody's head come apart, it's like, oh, oh, it's that kind of animation. Cool. It's a lot. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It's, you know, it manages to tell a compelling story. It is, you know, it's fun. It's just a fun story. I mean, yeah, it's you know, I was expecting. I guess I really shouldn't say I was expecting it, because I really was I went into this cold because I wasn't familiar with the comic, and I had only recently heard about this show, and you know, and after watching it though, I got into it. I liked it. You know, really, it, you know, it's the main character really is about Invincible, who's the son essentially of Omni-Man, who's Superman essentially, and you know, it's kind of, you know, him coming to terms with, you know, his abilities and what it means to be a hero, and you know, all these things. It doesn't, like, it does and doesn't quite deal with the gravity of, you know, and I think we've talked about this in the past in previous episodes of this show. You know, like how with a lot of these superhero movies, the idea of, you know, the collateral damage that occurs, the wrecking of buildings, the loss of life, and you know what I mean, like all these things in superhero movies, that is not something that is presented towards, you know, the audience as, you know, obviously, like, what are the repercussions of these superheroes fighting? And you know, you see it throughout this show that, you know, freaking people just get massacred. One of the fun ones is like when the aliens are coming through, and you know, they're just wasting people left and right, and it's you know, it's awful in that regard, but you know, kind of hilarious in, you know, the treatment of it. And yeah, you know, at least they somewhat try to address it. And it's a similar thing with Civil War, Captain America Civil War, where, you know, you have these the idea, the repercussions of the battles of these, you know, super enhanced people fighting each other in amongst, you know, the populace, as it were. And yeah, you know, I mean, like, it's hard, especially when your story is about these people who are, you know, mighty, and you know, they're having mighty battles, but you know, hundreds of people are going to die that are surrounding him. You know what I mean? Like, because like you see it a lot. You know, like where they're just it's just these mighty forces coming together, and people are dying left and right because buildings, like when a fight is happening in like big city like New York, and the buildings are collapsing all over the place. They didn't evacuate those fucking buildings. All those people are dying. You know what I mean? Like there's hundreds and hundreds of people dying in that one moment, on top of however long the fight occurs, right? And even this show, it kind of shines a light on it. Yet, what do? You know what I mean? And realistically, I mean, it's hard to talk realism, in comic books, but realistically, like a government agency would have to work in conjunction with these enhanced people to try and minimize the amount of collateral damage. And, at least there is something like that in place in this universe, But, I mean, ultimately, everybody's powerless to, stop it, because obviously these people are, super genius, super strong, super fast, super whatever, right? They're all just super. And, I don't know. It was fun. Is it a high recommend? Sure. I'd recommend it for somebody who likes, superhero stuff. Personally, I'm, kind of getting burned out on all the superhero stuff. I find myself gravitating towards more sci-fi, just fantasy type stuff, as opposed to super strength and super speed and super whatever's just super, Marvel and DC stuff, it's just, okay, I do enjoy more of, the, not the realistic, but like the personal journeys and the moral dilemmas presented in a lot of other properties. Not to say that I don't enjoy laser swords and, beat me up and stuff like that, but, yeah. Personally, I mean, like, yeah, I'm a little bit tired of just the whole super being genre without dealing with what our world would actually be like with these individuals. And which is why I really enjoyed The Boys. That's a fun sentence to say. I really enjoyed The Boys. I liked it because it does, talk about the repercussions of, and, kind of demonstrates the repercussions of these super enhanced individuals and, like these, these kind of things. And it's from the perspective of just humans, just people, right? And dealing with these super enhanced, people. And it's a fun, I wouldn't say it's a thought exercise, but it's just fun, Dark Commission. Hi, Kris and Monkeys. Hi. Leonid Lopez. Take a look at Punisher Kills Marvel Universe. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. They tackle that precise topic about the superheroes making so much collateral damage. Yeah, exactly, right? I mean, like, it is all made up stuff anyway, right? It's all made up stuff anyway. So, you can have fun. Sure, Superman can fly around, and do supersonic blasts. Well, even the fact of, like, when they show, like, the superheroes going supersonic, right? Depending on where they are when they go supersonic, that causes a lot of damage. It's busted windows. That's, that's all sorts of stuff when the sonic booms. That's why, like, you don't get much plane activity, especially from the military, unless, of course, they're in conflict, of going supersonic, because, the potential damage that can occur if it's, depending on how high they are and where they are, and, you know what I mean? Like, there's repercussions to these things. And, it's cool as balls, Superman, when he's, traveling supersonic speeds, you could see, the shockwave, when he does it. But there is actual repercussions from that actual occurrence of that sonic boom, right? I can't say sonic boom without thinking of Street Fighter. Sonic boom! Car King 555, Wade the Brush, episode 344, Vampire Women with Big Booty released. What? How did I not hear? Oh, you're talking about Resident Evil. Right. Yeah. I mean, my son and daughter, they've been talking about it. My daughter's boyfriend picked it up, and so, playing it and what have you. But, I mean, I'm not, I'm not fired up over it. I've lost many installments of that story since Resident Evil 2. I played the hell out of 1. I don't even think I finished 2. No, I don't even think I finished 2. And then I think basically when the first movie came out, I kind of lost interest in Resident Evil. Resident Evil, I think the movies, probably killed my enthusiasm for the games. Same with like Silent Hill. Silent Hill, the first game, oh, excellent. Second one is good. It's creepy. And then they came out with that really disjointed movie, and it was ruined it. The movie ruined it. And yeah, so Resident Evil, yeah, I have no idea. I know I've seen pictures of this vampire, and she's got the big hat, and yes, she has the big booty, and all that. And yeah, I mean, it's fun and all, but I have no idea. I think really when I lost interest in Resident Evil was when it went to like a rail shooter. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, Resident Evil is a horror game, puzzle solving and, adventure and, investigating, right? And yeah, and meh, Anyway, Lord Krabby, sup. Ebb and Flow. Brightburn is a great take on what if Superman broke bad as a tween. Yeah, I haven't checked out Brightburn. I've heard about that one. Yeah, that one came out like a couple years ago. Yeah, I never checked that one out. Again, like I don't seek out these superhero things, and yeah, I mean, like, I watch a lot of the Marvel shit because, well, it's on Disney Plus, and I do actually watch quite a fair amount of Disney Plus because since they added Star, it just increased its value for me. I mean, opening up all of Fox's catalog, like, why not, right? I mean, plus 2, I love Star Wars, so, yeah. Anyway. Cock King 555, I'm speaking about the AOS model. Oh, I thought you were talking about Resident Evil because I know my kids were talking about Resident Evil. Oh, I know is GW doing their release right now? I know I don't know, Vampire with the Big Booty. I have no idea what we're talking about there then. What Vampire with the Big Booty? Because I'm pretty sure I'd have been there for that. Sorry, I'm on the Games Workshop website right now. What do you guys thought about like a lot of these, like the whole Warhammer Fest? Have you guys been tuning in, or you guys just been kind of catching the show notes, as it were? When they released when they previewed the Deepkin for Underworlds, I was in. Little beta fish and a crab, I'm in. I like the Deepkin. I like the aesthetic of Deepkin. The whole concept of like these blind elves is just interesting. They're fish floaty things flying around. You know what I mean? Like, it's just fun. And as a painter, it affords you a great many opportunities to just open the floodgates as far as how you paint them, right? I mean, you can just go anywhere with that. Sky's the limit. Sky is the limit. Sure, a lot of us will probably gravitate towards actually imitating, actual fish and things like that. Nothing wrong with that. even painting them to look just like out of the book. Sure, nothing wrong with that. But again, that's two possibilities right there on top of a plethora of options. Yes, I said plethora. And, you know, I think that's a lot of fun. That's why I kind of gravitated towards Deepkin. And even before I had even played them, I was told that they were essentially the Samhan of AOS, because they're all the flying fishy things and they're fast strike and, you know, stuff like that. And I was like, oh, damn. Oh, well. I'll lean into it. Mind you, I mean, like, I still have all my Deepkin and stuff like that to get done, but because I still have some in boxes. I've got, like, the king. I've got the turtle. What else do I got? The king. Oh, the guy on the seahorse. I really like that model. That's just a kick-ass looking model. The buddy with the big water cloak, I got him. And I got the big turtley dude. I'd like to get the great whites. The big great whites. Those would be fun. I kind of wish, though, they were a little bit more dynamic. I mean, I guess it's kind of hard to, you know, account for all that, especially when you're creating this stuff, you know, I'm sure. But yeah, I kind of wish it was a little bit more dramatic. I wish they looked a little more Jaws-like, you know what I mean? Kind of horror, like the mouth wide open, or, you know, kind of like they're in like a big bend and rah, you know what I mean? Like, but, you know, I'm sure they have to find that middle ground, you know, between, you know, really dynamic looking sculpts and what will function well on the tabletop as well. I think what looks cool should be like 51% of their decision, 49% if it functions well on the table. Even less. The tabletop functionality, you know, not really a huge concern. Does the model look really freaking cool? You know? Yeah. But anyway. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Hey, I'm late. Hi, Kris and Monkey. Super hyped about GW reveals this week. Yeah, I've been catching one or two. The Deepkin, very happy about. I will look into that when that comes out. And then the other one was Aeronautica. And yeah, we talked about this in the past, in previous episodes. And, you know, I said, yeah, it'd be awesome if they did, you know, Eldar and probably Space Marines, and have Eldar and Space Marines. And I think that is an appropriate, like, matchup, because Space Marines being elite and, you know, Eldar stuff is pretty elite. And Eldar always has the harder time taking care of usually, you know, high armor targets. Like, they got like a high power weapons and stuff like that, but Space Marines is just durable, right? As opposed to Eldar. Eldar it's probably really hard to hit them, but once you hit them, you know, the shots just tear right through them, and, you know, they explode right away, you know, kind of thing. But you got to hit them first, right? And it's kind of like Battlefield Gothic. Battlefield Gothic's like that, and which I liked about, what I enjoy as far as a challenge is concerned, playing Eldar, and which I have found to lack in Warhammer 40,000, like the regular tabletop experience. Because for so long, Eldar were, you know, their play style is very different from other factions. And now it seems like Space Marines have taken everything from everybody and kind of just, you know, and just, you know, it makes them just everybody. And, you know, why play another faction? And, you know, if Games Workshop continues on that route of that train of thought, the game is just going to be horse heresy and 40k. Now, if that's the route they are wanting to go, I mean, okay, sure, but I'll stop playing 40k, you know, because it'd become boring. I don't want to play Space Marines versus Space Marines. I'd rather play within the realm of good guy versus bad guy kind of thing, you know. And yeah, I know, I realize what I'm saying in regards to the 40k universe. No good guys, I get it, but, you know, having Space Marines being held up as some sort of hero, well, every hero needs villains. But if your villains are your other Space Marines, well, then it's, you know what I mean? Like, it's equal, you know, and it's, you know, it's not terribly interesting. And I can't see that being very interesting, especially for model designers. And for the longest time, Games Workshop's always described themselves as a model company first, and then a game company, right? And because they're pushing these little plastic soldiers, right? So yeah, it's just, they have to do more with their bad guy lineup. Sure, Necrons, they got a good upgrade in the last couple of years. Seeing more of this orc stuff coming out, like what was that yesterday? Showing these squigger dudes. A lot of fun, fresh idea ish. It stays within the theme of what they've previously established as far as like what 40k lore is like, and and of course they want to go down different paths, and just so that they can control the IP, I'm sure is what part of their decision. But because like they've already established squigs and orcs synonymous, right? But everybody loved snake bites, and here's your way of getting boar boys back into 40k without riding big pigs, which was kind of ridiculous to begin with. But it makes a lot of sense for them to mount these big vicious squigs in any part of the universe, because the squigs and the orcs and the Gretchen and grots and snotlings and like all this stuff, it all just kind of comes with them. It's this whole little ecosystem that the orcs travel around with, and they're basically this fungus that just this moss that just covers everything, right? And I think it's cool. And yeah, I mean, like there's no reason that we can't have more squig stuff alongside orc stuff, right? Especially if we're talking, mountable things, right? These little riders. And, and then of course we get into some of the bigger squigs, right? And then of course we get into the squigoths, right? A plastic squigoth would be cool. I don't know if they'd ever make that though. That's a pretty darn big model. It's pretty darn big. But I mean, I can't imagine, Forge World really wanting to continue to produce them because it's expensive. People don't really want to spend that much, and I'm sure when Forge World's working out their price points, it's how much resin they use when they're pouring these kits, because you end up paying for an excess amount of resin. I mean, it's kind of crazy, but anyway, yeah. But yeah, I've been enjoying the reveals, and I guess there's going to be another one starting up like in a little bit. I guess probably, sort of. I don't know. Lots of Necromunda stuff. That's been cool. Yeah. The new little box starter set. It's all right. It gets you started. Gets you playing. Nothing wrong with that. The new Delac models that they've been showcasing. Really, really cool. Oh, little upgrades for Goliaths, Eschers. Sorry, I'm on the page now. Oh, decal sheet, wanted posters and stuff. Cool. More Underworlds with the Orky... I don't know. What are they? Like Savage Orcs, I guess? Is that what they're still called? I don't even know what they're called now. I don't know. What are they called? A Mad Mom. No, that's not. Come on. That's not a proper name. But anyway, yeah. Some Blood Bowl, some cards, some dice. Cute. New pitch. That was it? Okay. That can't be it for today. No, because it hasn't occurred yet, I don't think. Anyway, yeah, and then they re-released the Runt Herder that used to be part of the faction. So yeah, it's pretty cool. The biggest one for me though is the Aeronautica. Excuse me. Just because, they look just like what I see from Forge World. The models that I own, I have like 3 Nightwings. I have 4 Phoenix Bombers. And I'm looking forward if they do, which, I mean, I can't see them not doing it, but the Vampire. Get an Aeronautica version of the Vampire. You're damn right I'm going to paint it just like my Vampire. In fact, all the Nightwings and the Phoenix Bombers, yeah, they're all getting painted up. Like, I mean, like, you're going to see, like, when I paint mine, yeah, I'm going to paint them Samhan. Spoiler. Spoiler alert. I'm painting them Samhan. Nothing you can do. The Space Marine side of things, I don't know. I'll probably I'll probably let my son decide, because he most likely will take that faction. So if he wants them Ultramarine or, you know, Blood Angel or whatever, you know, maybe I should talk him into doing them Crimson Fist. Say, oh no, Crimson Fist, that's the faction. Those are the kick-ass Space Marines. They're on all the covers, all the artwork. They're the poster child for Space Marines. They're the poster child of the poster child. Is that a thing? What's a poster child of a poster child? More Inception. That's what it is. It's more Inception. Fuck, I don't even know where I am. Lord Krabby. Yeah, check out Invincible. It's an amazing piece. Be glad Superman is on our side. Right, but I mean, well, if you watch Invincible and the way it ends, I mean, where's it go, right? I mean, realistically, Earth should be preparing like mad. Because I mean, if one Superman can destroy an entire planet, right? Because he went through that time dimension thing against those aliens, and he fucked those people up. And, you know, what if he did the same thing to Earth? I mean, like, you know, it's, you know. Goes to Starman. I binged the entirety of WandaVision on Thursday evening. Wasn't a fan of the first couple episodes, but the rest is of the series was fantastic. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's fun. It's different. And you know what? Anytime anybody's willing to take a chance to do something outside the norm of what we normally see, will always score points with me. It'll always score points with me if somebody's outside the box on something, especially on presentations, storytelling, whatever. Always will score a couple points with me in my overall judgment. Not that it's, you know, they do something different. It's like, yeah, that's a win. No, I mean, you know, it scores points. It's on the scorecard, you know. But yeah, unaided foot. Orks. Glory to. Ghost of Starman. The crab for the Aeronautica warband is sick. It's a sick crab? It didn't look sick. It looked pretty good. Or sick like bad. Or good. Damn kids in your words. I'm converting my Leviathan to go alongside my Lizardman, since it is essentially a big reptile. Cool. Cocking 555, Luca Vi, the mother of nightmares, is a big booty vampire. You're gonna have to post that in a Discord or something, because, yeah, I have. Oh, you did, or somebody did. Moogle Dorn. She's got like 6 limbs. She's like a centaur of vampire bat stuff thing. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. The vampire stuff that has been coming out is very cool. I like the style. I like how, you know, it does feel like a bit of a throwback, yet, you know, still retains some of that, you know, GW freshness. I don't know if that's the right term, but yeah, it's cool. I mean, I dig the vampire stuff coming out. They're really cool looking models. I mean, you might as well just lean really heavily into the Bram Stoker, you know, film aesthetic. You know, you might as well go full Dracula. Why not? Now, a big Dracula model would be cool, or, you know, some sort of scary Dracula. Of course, maybe, I don't know, maybe everybody would walk around, I want to suck your blood, you know, I don't know. Aaron Seach, hi to Kris, happy monkeys, happy Saturday. As the father of an orc player, my painting backlog is weeping for what's coming. Well, why are you painting your kids' orcs? Make your kids paint their orcs. Make them. Just tell them it'll build character. Brandon Taylor, the B-Man. Hey, everyone. Hey. Night Warden Gaming. Morning, Kris. On the subject of Eldar, how excited are you for the Aeronautica Imperialis release? Very, very excited. I very excite. Yes, very excite. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Again, I'm looking forward to seeing that vampire. I want little versions of my big versions of stuff. And of my big versions of stuff, I want even bigger versions of stuff. And of the really big versions of stuff, I want super tiny versions of stuff. Somebody out there is like, Kris, stop saying versions. Ghost of Starman. Boars work pretty well as a mount for fantasy orcs. Pigs are actually pretty brutal animals if in real life, so orcs would probably be drawn to them. Yeah, sure. But it's a pig. I mean, like, it's a pig. I mean, yes, boars are aggressive and, tough and all that, but meh. It's also bacon. I don't know about how many of you eat pork products, but when I'm seeing a bunch of pigs running on the battlefield and they're getting slaughtered, it's party time. Because you got ham hocks, you got ham, you got bacon, pork chops. You know what I mean? Man, the list is endless of all the different treats you get out of, a battlefield where, the enemy is showing up on dinner, essentially. They're showing up on dinner, right? Whereas in the lore, I don't ever hear anybody eating squig, right? Nobody really, other than the orcs. Nobody eats the squigs. So, I don't know. Does squig taste bad? Does it have like a, mushroom type flavor? Is it like, biting into a big mound of shiitake mushrooms? When they're burning the fields of where all the orcs were, does it just reek of mushrooms? I don't know. See, these are the things that they don't describe in the literature. Night Warden Gaming, Bone Splitters, I think. Oh, yes, I think you're right. Bone Splitters. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. I had no idea what the floaty fish thing in the Delac kit is, but I want it. Oh, yeah, it looks, well, somebody made the comment I had seen, I think it was on Twitter, somebody had made the comment that it was, the Sentinels from the Matrix. That jives with me, which is cool. I mean, whatever, right? Doesn't matter. And having crazy little floaty things running around. I mean, like, in 40K, we have little skulls with little laser beams and, you know what I mean? Like, we have those floating around. Those are supposed to be, all over the place in 40K. So why not this Sentinel thing with the tentacles? And, you know what I mean? Like, why not have this crazy ass floaty things roaming around? Why not? It's sci-fi. So, the sky's the limit as far as, where you want to imagine this stuff. So, yeah. Ghost of Starman, didn't know the Runt Herd was a character in Rogue Trader until a while after I saw the release. Yeah, he's a re-release. Games Workshop has been doing that a lot. I mean, you can, it's a trend for probably the last like 5 or 6 years, maybe. They've been going back to the Rogue Trader and the ideas that a lot of stuff that was created there, Rogue Trader really is kind of the Bible of Warhammer 40K, because so much of the stuff that's coming out today is a callback to the stuff that was presented in Rogue Trader. Ambles and the Gene Stealers with the big sucker tentacles on their face. You know what I mean? Like all that stuff. Man, I mean, it goes on and on. Grinks, the little kitty cats. Those have been around forever. Just little things all over the place, right? And yeah, so, and I think that's cool. I like it. As an old-time gamer, old-timey, where basically when I used to play, everything was in sepia. So if you can imagine, like when I was young and we were playing Warhammer 40K, if it was filmed, yeah, it'd all have a sepia tone on it. Like with a kid running by with like the little loop, and he's got the stick, and he's running by, and he's wearing like the high socks with like the suspenders on his shorts and everything, and he's got that cap. I don't know what the hell that cap's called. What's that cap? The newsboy cap? Yeah, he's got one of those caps, and he's running by with the hoop, and then that's us playing 40K back in the day. Paints quite an image, doesn't it? TH Warhammer Fest Saturday surprise. Kris, do you have any musings on what it could be? Oh, it could be anything. Could be anything. Sound like the dad from Christmas Story there. It could be anything. Deed to a bowling alley. It's a major award. That's on my list this year. The major award. I want to pick one up. The wife and I are huge fans of it, and I've always wanted to have the major award in my front window because I got a big front window. I'll set a little. I mean, my dog will lose her spot because my dog sits in the front window. His big nose prints on the window there. But anyway, yeah, I'd like to put the major award in Christmas time and have the major award in the window. And there is a company that makes them like 1-to-1 scale. So I was thinking about picking one up. Well, I'm not thinking. I probably should just buy it now, really. But anyway. Ghost Star Man, poster grandchild, poster mother, unaided foot, poster mother, yeah, a poster boy of a poster boy of a poster boy. It's Inception of a poster boy. No, that's gonna get us flagged. Ghost Star Man Deluxe, sick in like a 90s way. Oh, like a 90-year-old way? Because like 90-year-olds, when they get sick, yeah, that's not a good thing. They could die from that, you know. That's kind of why we had this whole thing about the pandemic, you know, and, you know, trying to take care of the elderly because they're at high risk. The, you know, elderly die from pneumonia all the time, you know. COVID, it's almost, you know, certainty with their death. King, 30 men, and we are back 20. 30 men, and we're back 20. What? Whoa. You trying to Inception me here? Ghost of Starman. Basically, Kris wants an actual vampire to fly around in a teeny weeny microchip, one implanted in his brain. Oh, a teeny weeny microchip? Sure. Do I want? I didn't get this reference at all. We've covered so many different things already. I don't even. I've already been going on for 40 minutes. Jeez Louise. Yeah. No, you lost me, Ghost. You lost me. An actual vampire to fly around in a teeny tiny microchip, one implanted in his brain. Yeah, you lost me, Ghost. I missed the train on that one. TH, predators taste bad, mostly. What predators? Predators do not taste bad. I've even eaten lynx, and lynx is good. But mushrooms taste good, mostly. Yeah, see, mushrooms, I don't really... I mean, I like some of the regular... what are the regular mushrooms called? Portobello? Is that the right... Or am I thinking of a different mushroom? Anyway. I like them. You know, like the kind that you get normally on like a, you know, cheese pizza kind of thing. I'm fine with those. I enjoy them. Steak, some onions, mushrooms, just that on the grill or in the pan if you're frying it. Yeah, good shit. Squig can be made with plenty of salt and lemon to even out the bitter taste, and mustard adds a nice touch to your squig salad. Sure, yeah. Tossing a squig salad. Why not, right? Why not? You know? TH is smashing his keyboard right now. It's like, that's not what I fucking said, pervert. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. What the heck is the major award? Oh, you damn kids. Just type in major award. Christmas story, major award. Damn kids. Making me lose the train twice. And then you just missed the train. You just missed the train on major award. You don't know what the major award is? For God's sakes, kid. You're working up another whooping. You know what? I take back every nice thing I said, Ghost. You know what? Screw it. No. If I find myself over there again, yeah, you're gonna get one. Not really hard, but just a good one. Just remember to smarten up. King 555. I have a mega tip for people basing Omega tip for people basing. Get some paver sand. When it dries with PVA, it hardens. Interesting. Yeah. You just use like a concrete mix? Sure. Yeah. I don't see any reason why not. I mean, you could also just, simply build up the materials as well, to make concrete. I mean, concrete really is just fucking dirt, right? I mean, yes, I realize it's different ratios of material, but, make your own version of it. Yeah, do that. Or use cement. Plaster of Paris, another one. Just use plaster. Or polyfilla. Polyfilla was, man, back in the day, I used polyfilla on everything, all my terrain. For texture on buildings, to bases, to creating mud, to creating concrete, to creating everything. Everything was polyfilla, which is essentially just, a plaster of Paris, essentially. Aaron Seach, did he really just fucking say that? What's the major award? Are you fucking kidding me? LOL. It's Italian. Fragile. Yeah, it's Italian. Fragile. Come on, man. Come on. Ghost Star Man, I Googled it. I can see why you want it. Yeah, why not, right? I mean, it's so iconic, man. I mean, like, because for so many of us who grew up in the 80s, yeah, I mean, that's why Christmas Story is like in the top 5 of everybody's Christmas list of movies to watch during the season, right? Hell, I mean, is it number 1? Is Christmas Story in the number 1? No, because I think Miracle on 34th Street. Wonderful Life, maybe. But Christmas Story is up there. Top 5, guaranteed. Top 5 Christmas movies to watch during Christmas. Guaranteed. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. One of the top results is a version based on C-3PO's leg and R2-D2's dome. I think just doing it as C-3PO's leg would be hilarious. I don't know if it really needs an R2-D2 dome, although it does kind of make sense. And like, what else would you use for a lampshade, essentially? Because a regular lampshade doesn't really make a lot of sense, because the whole point of the major award being the woman's leg is that the lampshade looks like the can dancer dress, right, with all the little tassels hanging down and everything like that. That's the imagery it invokes, right? It's the whole, cabaret, thing like that. And, which, obviously it's the obvious sex appeal of it. And of course, what makes it so hilarious in A Christmas Story is the fact that the dad is super psyched about it. The mom hates it immediately. And the youngest doesn't get it, but Ralphie, he's like, yeah, this is pretty kick-ass. Like, that's, that was like something that, especially in the time period in which the movie is replicating. That's like your dad getting the Playboy Channel and the young guys up at night watching the Playboy Channel. You know what I mean? Like, that's what that kind of thing is like. It's dad's happy about his little spot of something risque, and and the young boys are he thinks it's fucking great, but the mom hates it because, well, it's going to corrupt her boys, kind of thing, right? And so, it's funny. It's just it's funny, and I'm sure every household out there has gone through something very similar to something like that. Something that encroaches on the morality of the family, kind of thing. It's just fun. It's just fun, and it's funny. The B-Man, Bad Santa's number 1. Bad Santa. of movies very inappropriate for Christmas, yes, Bad Santa would be very high up. The Bad Santa, that is the unrated one, not the theatrical release, but the unrated one. That's the better film. Didn't they make a 2? they made a second one. But anyway, yeah. I mean, like Bad Santa. I mean, there's a bunch of movies that are, Christmas movies, but are not, very, very appropriate. But I mean, like, for us, the Christmas movies that we end up watching, obviously, is like Miracle on 34th Street, Christmas Story is a must, Family Vacation, or Christmas Vacation. Ooh, who dat? Snide War just subscribed. Thank you, Snide War. I need like the animation. Very inappropriate, I know. Especially if they're just subscribing and just tuning in now, they're like, yeah, oh, it's that kind of show. This guy's weird and a little inappropriate. But anyway, yeah. So it is Miracle on 34th Street, Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation. Those three are absolute musts. Then Die Hard falls in there. Bad Santa we try and squeeze in. Oh, there's another one too. And yes, Die Hard is in that list. And yes, if you don't think Die Hard is a Christmas movie, you can leave. You might just close the stream now. Walk away. We can still be friends, but not really good friends. Elf. Yes, thank you, B-Man. Elf. That's the other one. Oh, Scrooge. Scrooge is another good one. Yes. That one actually is not really in our rotation of... Oh, God damn it. Christmas Carol. The George C. Scott version of it. Who that? Oh, that's Boo. Yeah, Christmas Carol. The George C. Scott. Which Scrooged essentially is Christmas Carol, but an 80s take on it. But yeah, the George C. Scott one, my favorite. George C. Scott, amazing actor when he was still around. And yeah, that one, man, whatever awards, accolades that man accrued was well earned, So yeah, I like George C. Scott as an actor. I never met him, so I don't know him personally. He could have been a bastard. That's okay. That's why when we get on these topics, never meet your heroes, right? As the saying goes, never meet your heroes. Yeah. So, so none of you should ever want to aspire to meet me, because it'll probably fundamentally change what you thought of me. Unlikely, because I mean, all of you who have met me, you're still here. So, a lot of you anyway. Some of you might be gone. I don't know, but either way. Aaron Seach. There is not one person that cannot relate to at least something in that movie. Shit, that movie is my family when I was growing up, especially the dad. Christmas Story? Is that what we're talking about? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like most of those Christmas... I mean, even like Christmas Vacation. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Everybody can relate to something in that film, which is why it stands the test of time, because it's so relatable. And same with Christmas Story, so relatable, especially when we were kids, right? That whole slice of life, as it were. Yeah. That's why those movies still hold up, is because the inherent reality in which we can all connect with. It's really all it is. Ghost of Starman. Anyway, today we learned Kris wants to bang mannequin legs. I don't know about banging them. Because I mean, like, the whole idea of the major award and ooh yeah, we're plugging that. I'd equate that to fetishizing one-legged women, which is not a fetish that I'm currently in. But don't go through my search history, but I have gone to some pretty weird places. So, yeah, tattooed on my chest. It should be do not resuscitate and clear my browser history. just in case I ever find myself in a situation. The B-Man. For my age range, I think the original Home Alone would be tops. Yes, Home Alone, yeah, and we did watch that this year, actually, Home Alone. I hadn't watched Home Alone in a very long time, and yeah, that one, again, and anybody who thinks that Die Hard should not be a Christmas movie, I point you at Home Alone, because Home Alone is Die Hard. Home Alone and Die Hard are very, very similar in a few aspects. I'm not saying they're one-to-one, beat for beat kind of remakes. It's not like, Star Wars A New Hope and Force Awakens. You know what I mean? It's not that kind of beat for beat kind of thing, but, the parallels are there. And Elf, yeah, Elf is another good one. Yeah, that one we catch during Christmas. Ghost of Starman, The Muppet Christmas Carol is a classic in my opinion. Sure, I've probably watched that one when I was a kid. It's been a very long time since I've watched that one. On Disney Plus, they have Muppets now because it came in with obviously when they released Star and everything like that. But yeah, I've been meaning to just start Muppets because I used to love Muppets, man. I'm sure many of you realize that by now that I'm a Muppet. You open me up, it's going to be nothing but cotton wadding coming out. It's yeah. That's why I have the do not resuscitate order on my chest, because there's no point. It's just going to be cotton. I'm going to catch fire and the whole place will fucking burn down. Ben McBradbury. That's a fun name. Ben McBradbury. I don't know why I want to roll the R on the Bradbury, but anyway. Kris, working on a competition piece and curious about your opinion on banners, flags. I've got a sculpted Sister of Battle flag on the base, but considering chucking it in favor of plasticard and freehand one. Yeah, we've met, and I'm still around. Have we been? Yeah, okay, cool. Awesome. You'll have to remind me, if we ever meet again, that we've met before. And you're still hanging around. Which says something about you, or me. Probably more you. But anyway, plasticard? Yeah, why not? Because, obviously, it's kind of... You're kind of weighing the trade-off, right? Because oftentimes, nowadays, Games Workshop, when they have these standard bearers, the banner has sculpted relief details on it, right? And it limits the scope of what you can create there versus plasticard, and again, sky's the limit, right? You can put anything there. You could even sculpt some elements, create, embellishments and stuff like that to complement your freehanding of whatever you do. Of course, you could also just take that standard and instead of trying to, form a piece of plasticard to fit that shape, you could just smooth the details off of that sculpted banner. Mind you, though, it all depends on how the sculpted banner is designed, because some of them look like they're really blowing in the wind, and some of them kind of have a bit of a half fold going on, and they're draped down, and you know what I mean? There's different ways of going about it, but otherwise, yeah, it's, I would, if you have the capacity to, just simply create an image on that banner, by all means, yeah, go for it. If you, even if you don't, and you just want to go for it, yeah, go for it. Again, you can create whatever you want there, right? Versus the already pre-described, what is going to get painted there. And that's really, when Games Workshop releases these kits, they should include that amongst all the other bits on the sprue. It's just give us the banner that has that prepared image already on the banner, right? And then give us the exact same thing that has no relief. But if there's filigree or if there's tassels hanging off, whatever, right? Keep that, sure. Because if we don't want it, we can always just slice it off anyway. But give us that blank canvas there, there should always be an option for their kits, and I think that would always, I think that drives up the value of those kits, because even on the secondhand market, right? I mean, you can always sell that banner off to somebody who wants it, and who wants to have a whole bunch of the banners, or they're doing some terrain and they want banners, and whatever, right? But anytime you have the banners, there should always be a blank and a one with a sculpted relief on it. That way you have options. And with all these model kits, there should always be options. They should always have a whole bunch of options, so that you buy the kit and you get all of it and you arrange it in a certain way, and then go, yeah, that's it. You know what? This was such a fun kit. I enjoyed it. I'd like to do another one. Or maybe my army could use another one of these kits, and so you buy another one, but you want to do it different, right? And then so many more options, and you just end up buying a bunch of these kits, right? And I think anyway. I don't know. I'm sure I'm probably way off on that, but I think it should. TH, my hero is a dude my own age sitting in a basement on the other side of the world talking about nerd dolls. I don't know. It got a weird sound to it. Yeah, talking about nerd dolls? like real dolls? Good God, man. What a weird world it would be if there was a real doll of Kris Belleau out there. The shipping alone you'd have to take out a second mortgage on your house, because the shipping would be too expensive. It would be made of too many heavy materials. Ben McBradbury, in the same way a Bug Life is Seven Samurai. Right, yes, yeah, I've heard of that comparison before. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It's, it's not quite beat for beat, but it's got a lot of similarities, even the way the story is structured out, and stuff like that. And yeah, because, yeah, so it's just funny. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. If Kris is a Muppet, whose hand is up his ass? It's my own head is up my ass. That's what you mean. My own head. If I am a Muppet, because my own head is up my ass. There we go. See? It all makes sense in the end. You're like, really? His own head's up his ass? Yes. When you... I was going to go with the example of a condom, but I was going to go with a balloon. When you do a balloon, reverse it, it's still the same. You can blow it up, and it's a balloon, right? You can reverse it again and blow it up. It still works, right? So when you have your own head up your ass, you're actually... and reversed, and it's not that my insides are out or my outsides are in, it's just mind blowing. Ben McBradbury at Mini Wargaming and at Max Aggression. I'm local. Oh, okay. In fact, you judged a couple Sister of Battle and Necron dioramas. Oh, okay. Oh, so you're local Ben. Okay. Sorry, I'm terrible with names and faces. I always like to have a name with the face, and unfortunately, I haven't really been around Dan's store all year. I mean, realistically, not a lot of us should be, but that's a different discussion. And yeah, okay, Ben. Okay, well, enjoying the day. It's the sun shining. It's nice. It's nice locally, anyway. Jabba, I'm listening on my headphones. That vibrator sounds heavy duty. No, that's a lawnmower. My yard is getting cut, and then after the show today, I'm gonna trim the hedges. That's not a euphemism. I'm actually gonna go trim hedges. That's not code for anything sexual. I'm actually gonna have to go trim hedges. Trim my bush. I gotta go trim my bush. Oh, shit. I don't know why I say these stupid things. They just pop into my head and I just say them. I don't know. Amazingly enough that, I haven't gotten myself in trouble. More trouble. Ben McBradbury, thanks so much for the advice. Yeah. I mean, again, yeah, there's two ways you can tackle that. You could either smooth off that detail on that banner if you like the shape of it, and you want to spare yourself the time. I mean, if we're looking at time, you probably are looking at about the same amount of time. I don't know. It all depends, I guess, how efficient you are at just cutting out a banner, shaping it. Right? Take a heat gun, you just shape it up, and then you figure out the attachments, and then if you want to embellish the edges, and whatever's right. Yeah. Or just smooth that detail off that banner. That's another option, So, again, it's entirely up to you. Yeah, just go for it, really. One of the biggest things, is, just going for it, learning, right? Oh, okay. G-Dubs is, they're doing their stream right now. They've been doing that at 1. I wonder why they've been doing that at 1, because isn't that kind of like in the evening for everybody in the UK? Isn't it evening time? Isn't it tea time? B-Man, I'd buy that for $1. Yeah, so here, let's let's jump ship. No, let's jump screens here for a sec. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so they're doing their thing. I don't have the volume up. I have the volume down. But yeah, I don't know. Let's read lips. Let's sit here and read lips and see what and try and guess what they're talking about. I kind of like Adam's cabinets back there. He's got nice little display cabinets going on back there. I kind of like that. I like that little corner piece. And I like how he's got a bit of a flex going on with the all box sets behind him. Whereas like Eddie's just got some art and he's got his display and I don't know, some major awards on his upper shelf there. Yeah. I've had the pleasure of meeting Eddie a few times. He seems like a really great dude. Hard cat to read though. It's hard to detect what is going on with that dude. Didn't meet Adam though. I think I was present for a presentation, but oh jeez, we're switching screens now. Oh, here we go. We got something going. I wonder if I turn this up. I wonder if you guys can hear it. Oh. You can probably hear it through the speakers, but I don't know if you'll hear it through... Oh, I have to change the audio, I think, on my setting.
Thank you. There we have it. A lot of people guessed
correctly
in the chat. It was quite interesting watching you all speculate. But the thing that we are going
It's an Age of Sigmar. That's the big surprise today. I'm sorry, I'm muting that thing again. I mean, I don't really need to hear these guys. I'm just going to read lips. It's bad lip reading time. If I could do a convincing British accent, I would totally lip read, do a bad lip reading of what they're saying, but again, I'll probably end up saying something inappropriate and probably get myself in trouble and and probably insult these guys who don't really need to be insulted. But anyway, Ghost of Starman, it's 6 p.m. over here. Oh, it's 6 p.m. Okay. Odd for them to be streaming this late. I agree. Yeah, well, I think all these videos though, they've been going on about like 1 o'clock, which is 6 p.m. there. Okay, yeah, because it's the evening, right? Like I would have kind of figured like when they did these last reveals, like when they were doing these other big reveals, it was like during the day kind of thing. Oh, what are we doing? We got another video going on. Oh, here. Okay, so it's Age of Sigmar, from the heavens. Ooh, look at this. It's a Stormcast duder with actual wings. Oh, it's a female character, looks like. I can totally see this getting converted for sisters. Ah, it's really cool. I like that. Hunt the enemies of Sigmar.
That was our first ever sighting of Indrasta.
Indrasta. Interesting. Indrasta. Okay. So, we're looking at stills now. Sorry, this has turned into apparently a fucking watch party now. They spelled Stormcast Eternals wrong on their thing. It's Soterm. It's Soterm Cast. Maybe they spelled her name wrong too. Maybe it's Drasta? Drasta? Anyway. It's Soterm. Soterm Cast. Maybe this is a new army. Maybe Soterm Cast is a new army. Oh, G-dubs. G-dubs, somebody didn't do their spell check. I like the wings, though. The wings are really nice. The kit is really cool. I mean, I don't really get fired up about Stormcast stuff. I don't look at it the same as Space Marine stuff, although there is a parallel there. But I dig Stormcast stuff, and I think everybody who has wanted a mixed force of men and women on the in the same fighting force. I think Stormcast Eternal really is for everybody who's who roots for that kind of imagery and can get behind that kind of stuff. And I like that. And this character, I like how they've treated the female Stormcast sculpts. They actually really shouldn't differ that much from the male versions of their allies. I don't know. But anyway, and I like the headpiece going on behind her head. It's got like the wispy comet, the double tail wispy comet thingy. I like that. I like the wings. Is the wing supposed to be like coming like out of her or what? I don't know. Ghost of Starman, episode 344, Age of Smegma. B-Man, wow, that model was tremendous. Yeah, it's pretty darn cool. I dig it. I don't really get too excited about Stormcast stuff. As a fan of a newer fan of Age of Sigmar and of all the factions and stuff like that. I mean, like all the armies. Like I have nothing really negative to say about any faction in Age of Sigmar. I think what they've been doing with Age of Sigmar and all the sculpts they've been putting out for Age of Sigmar have been fantastic. Even the Stormcast stuff, which yes, has parallels with, Space Marines and getting called, the Storm, Storm Primaris Marines, Storm Marines, or Cast, I can't remember what the fuck people have been calling them. But anyway, yeah, I dig all the armies that have been invented for Age of Sigmar. All the carryover stuff like Lizardmen, stuff like that. Sure, it's cool. Yes, I get it. It's cool stuff. What was it? Ogres, Lizardmen. What was the other one that carried over from fantasy? There's another one. But anyway, like the Daughters of Cain, all really awesome looking sculpts. Iden of Deepkin, all awesome looking sculpts. Even the new what are the new guys? The new elves, the high elves dudes. What the I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, all the stuff for Age of Sigmar, man, has just been really, really cool. Oh, jeez. That switched on me really fast. Looking at these guys again. You know what? I'm going to go back to normal camera because, yeah. Oh, you know what? Can we do no, I never set that up. But yeah, I'm going to keep that up because Sigmarines. Thank you, Mike. Yes. Sigmarines. Like everybody does that. And you know what? Like everybody who wants female Space Marines, which is kind of, what Sisters of Battle kind of were always described as, oh, we got another thing going on here. It's more Age of Sigmar. We got all sorts of Age of Sigmar going on today. Ooh, it's a sword. Champions of Smegma. They're doing that hip armor kind of like the Primaris. Have they always had that hip armor? Like, that looks like it dangles off their belt kind of thing? Have they always had that? A new breed. Wait, Stormcast are breeding?
Eddie, you just said you were excited to talk about these guys. Hit it.
Oh, Eddie's excited? I don't know if I've ever seen Eddie excited. Not that I know him very well or anything like that. But yeah. Again, hard cat to read. I don't like. TH, I was still holding a glimmer of hope for some Blood Bowl, but Age of Sigmar 3 is fine, I guess. Will it make it if I don't play the first two? Yeah, I think so. I think you'll be fine. I think you'll be fine. Ghost of Starman. Sigmarines was the term a lot of people used, yeah. The B-Man, I'm starting to build a second Age of Sigmar army, and I want to play a game. Yeah, definitely. I have a bunch of Ideneth, and yeah, I haven't even played a game of Age of Sigmar. Have not played game 1 Age of Sigmar, so it's no biggie. But yeah, we'll jump back over to the feed there once they start showing more stuff. They're just talking, filling time, getting everybody kind of jazzed up, and I'm sure the chat in Twitch is, I'm probably full of. I saw it the other day. Which is why I really haven't tuned into the stream too much, because everybody going on about the fucking the fuck is that game called? The newest thing. The fuck is that game called? The box that everybody's bitching about because Games Workshop's not making anymore. Anyway, I'm getting really tired of seeing all those comments about that shit. Stormcast. Oh, a Stormcast Eternal Vindictor. Vindictor. His Dictor. Oof. That's why you gotta use some sort of lubricant, man. He tore his dick. Anyway, I like these. They're cool. They're a little more kind of stand-up kind of looking guys. Like, they look like they're not as beefy as the regular Stormcast. They look smaller. Like these are initiates, maybe? Is that what the thing? I'm not listening to the presentation, so I have no idea. He's probably, we're probably being told what the deal is with these guys. I'm just guessing. So anybody who actually knows, feel free to comment what the fuck they're talking about, because or what the deal is with these Vindictors. Like Vin Diesel, Tor's dick, Vindictor. I know it's such a crap immature joke to make, but I'm making it anyway. Curse City, yes, thank you, B-Man. Oh, you bought a set? Cool. Yeah, because the goddamn Twitch stream chat, holy fuck, they will not shut up about it. Like, I turned the chat off because I was getting sick of all these fucking little entitled pricks fucking whining about this shit. Oh, I like the unhelmeted dude. I like that pose too. I like the one on the upper left as well. Kind of like the spear forward. These are kind of cool. They're kind of cool. I don't really get fired up for Stormcast stuff, but these guys look cool. I mean, they're more like knight-like. So I guess the hip armor thing, is a new thing that they're bringing in with these guys for whatever reason. Same with the whole scale mail, skirt. I don't know. What do you call it? The scale mail. Is it a skirt? Or is it some sort of other term? I'm not really an armor guy, so I could not tell you. All I know is cod plate. to protect your cod. Oh shit. Ghost Starman, one of the classic Way of the Brush advisories: always lube your tool. That's right, exactly right, because you don't want to tore your dick. You don't want a dick tore. A dick tore. For God's sakes, don't tear your dick. For God's sakes. Dark Commission, Vin's mobile porn show. Oh, jeez. Greenleaf Train. Woo. I don't know. Adam, I don't know what you know what. Here, let's come into some of the talk here.
Pushing outwards is just so cool. Right. I guess it's fair to say we're pretty hyped about these guys. Here's a piece of art.
Oh, they're hyped.
Eddie, what can you tell us about this?
Well, you talked about poster boys earlier on. I think
we're talking poster boys now.
You might see on some of the posters talking about the new edition.
We're all talking about poster boys today, apparently. The artwork's kind of cool. I like that whole way his shoulder armor goes around his head like that. It looks a little what was it, the Nagash Undead armor, like the bone duders. I don't know what the fuck those bone duders are called, but anyway, yeah, he's kind of cool. He's got lion chest armor. He's got the hip armor with the lightning bolts. I'm not sure how practical that is to have, lightning bolt armor coming off your hips that kind of go above your knee. I have no idea. That feels like possibly a danger, especially like, your shoulder pad, how they kind of have like that pincher, like that goes above your head like that. Like if you shrug, I don't know, those little endpoints are going to, contact, and you might hurt somebody. Guillermo GL. It's called Fald? Skirt armor is called Fald. Like Fald. Okay. So it's not a skirt, it's Fald. Okay. Ghost of Starman. Bro with the hammers, very nice. Yeah, the guy with the hammer. Yeah, he's pretty cool. It's a cool looking sculpt, and it's different, right? I mean, like, it's kind of hard, especially as they keep moving forward with the aesthetic and pushing the ideas forward as far as like what these Stormcast Eternals look like. They do start to look less and less like Space Marines, right? Especially like this guy, who's a hero, who's obviously a hero, but his armor. You could not say that this was a Space Marine, right? Just on shoulder design alone, Sure, it's knightly armor and stuff like that, and yes, there's going to be a lot of parallels there and stuff like that. But the silhouette doesn't feel very Space Marine-y anymore, which is cool. And I'm sure that's probably something that they'll probably embrace more as they develop more and more, like 5 years from now, whatever Stormcast Eternals look like will probably look very different than, what Stormcast look like now. At least as far as like some of the design elements that they incorporate. And probably just so that, obviously they can probably, move away from the whole, Stormcast and Space Marines being the same damn thing, right? Oh, they're talking again. Oh, Adam's talking about his cabinets or something. I don't know.
I really enjoy them, and so I am genuinely stoked that we're going to get to add more to not only their lore but also the miniatures range as part of this new release and this new edition.
I don't know. Adam's going on about something. He's stoked apparently. Now, when one is getting stoked, just to diverge a bit, when one is stoked, because stoking basically is like whenever we use the expression stoking, it's like stoking the fire, right? So the first thing I think of is like trains, right? The engine on a train. I used to shovel the coal, throw it into the furnace, powers up the engine, right? That's stoking it, right? When somebody says they're stoked, where exactly is the shoveling of coal going? Oh, they're doing another thing here. Hold on.
The third edition of Age of Sigmar, without doubt, is the best one we've done. It's
Phil Kelly talking about stuff.
Mainly because it builds on the really strong foundations of the second edition, where we really spoke about what the mortal realms were.
Is it me, or does he look like more like a Bond villain?
New protagonists, new gods and wars.
I don't know if anybody's mentioned that to him. Phil, you look a bit like a Bond villain. This guy, he just, there's nothing I can make fun of this guy about, but, the fella, he looks like a Bond villain. Like he should have been sitting in a big chair and, with a cat in his lap. Ooh, it's Big Froggy. Ooh, it's a Froggy. I guess I could be listening to this stuff. I don't know. I don't.
We really wanted to focus on that.
Here, let's bring the volume up a bit.
Terrifying places to be, and to be a good guy in the mortal realms is to be outnumbered. It's to be grasping onto the slimmest sliver of hope, but hope is there nonetheless.
This is Sigmar's opportunity with the Forces of Order to take back those realms. We started that with the Cities of Sigmar and the Seeds of Hope. This pushes it into Dawnbringer Crusade. So this is where the bell rings in the morning and the city gates open, and men, elves, and Duardin head out into the chaos wastes to reclaim that.
Yeah, I guess I should probably brush up on my Age of Sigmar lore, because Yeah, I'm fucking clueless. You're talking about all sorts of ringing the bells and opening the city gates and stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? All I understood from Age of Sigmar was that it was all the realms, and every realm, and you need the realm gates to cross realms, and which is a lot of fun. I mean, like that you can again, that whole concept that's the universe that everybody's fighting in. It's endless. Having good guys and bad guys fighting, and like where they're going to be fighting, and you know what I mean. Like it's a lot of fun. Like even Warhammer 40,000 is a little limited in some regards, like that, because oftentimes it's either golf courses or we're fighting in city ruins. We're never fighting in a normal city, right? Like a city that has yet to been blown up, or I don't know, any other kind of crazy ass alien world we want to imagine. Like at least like in a universe like Star Wars, every major battlefield is very visually different, right? Even though the things that would be more realistic, I suppose, like the air, the atmosphere, and you know what I mean, like the environmental conditions, right, would vary wildly across many different alien worlds, and yet all these worlds all seem to be same atmosphere, same gravity, same all these things that are all the same across all these different worlds. And I don't know, it's at least Star Wars, they kind of address something like that where every world is different, but pretty much every world has the same gravity, has the same air. You know what I mean? Like, all right. But I realize that's just for, story aesthetics, but it would be fun to have something that would, address that kind of thing. Especially in a game where you're fighting on worlds with lower gravity or acidic air, or, you know what I mean? Like, just different things just to mix it up, right? I mean, but I imagine it probably wouldn't fly well for a lot of people because, there are a lot of smooth-brained people who play this game, and, keeping track of a lot of that stuff, taxes the brain. So, yeah. Ghost Starman, I like to imagine that the fire getting stoked is fueling the engine that powers your hype train. Oh, that's a good one. Fueling the hype train. Getting stoked is fueling the hype train. Again, though, where do you shovel the coal? Is it going in your mouth? This apparently is going in the mouth. Or is it going the other way? Yeah, everybody who's listening, you missed on the pantomime. Sorry. But yeah. I like that. The fire getting stoked is fueling the engine that powers the hype train. Yeah, it's so when we say, so basically what we're saying is that when somebody says they're stoked about something, we're talking about fueling the hype train, right? Is that what we're saying? That's what we're saying? I think that's what we're saying. I'm 100% with you, Ghost. I'm 100% with you. If that's what we're talking about, because I can visualize it. Because, when we're saying, I'm stoked for this, we're talking about fueling the hype train, right? That's what we're talking about? Gotcha. Ooh, look at that. Sorry. I switched windows again. There we go. That's pretty cool.
The Celestial Spear in a stunning piece of artwork.
Oh, this is the artwork for that character. Oh, okay.
Horrible chaos landscape.
Oh, I didn't even realize the wings.
This is the cover of the new rulebook for Warhammer Age of Sigmar.
Oh,
and you can,
that's the cover.
Looks stunning. Gives you a sense of the kind of
the hell that she's descending into.
Yeah, she's just come flying in, lightning bolt with her wings, fighting all sorts of demons.
Celestial warriors smashing down into
that's pretty cool.
Sets on all sides by chaos. So very much a microcosm of the entire setting captured.
Yeah.
A very cool piece of art. That is your
that's really cool.
Cover,
I like that.
And,
that's almost
and obviously you can look forward to more exploration,
print worthy, like buying a print of that
on the Warhammer community website over the coming weeks and months. And of course, a new edition means some seismic changes to the lore. So we rifled through the new book and tried to find a picture that represented what looked like seismic changes, and this was the one that we found. So this is we're not entirely sure what's going on here actually.
Looks
but,
like
some kind of celestial / chaos earth-shattering event.
yeah, it looks like Dark Angels, like the Rock, in some sort of chaos realm thing. You sure this isn't 40K? Boys. Is this not 40K art you just showed off? Because it looks like the Rock in the Eye of Terror going up against chaos things. And it's just like a floating rock thing and gonna blow some shit up. Oh, what's this?
We got quite excited about this in the sort of pre-show as we were talking about what to cover off. This is a map of, I believe, the realm of
Beasts. Yes. So this is
Oh.
which is the realm of beasts. This is where a lot of the action of the new edition is going to take place. So what's exciting about this is that we've seen an awful lot of some of the other realms. So early in the Age of Sigmar, we saw a lot of the realm of fire, a lot of the realm of life. We've recently seen quite a lot of exploration of the realm of shadow and the realm of light in the various elven shapes. We haven't spent a huge amount of time in the realm of beasts, but the new edition is going to have that front and center, particularly that large region at the top. You can see Thundia. But there's some things on that map. If you've got eagle eyes, you'll be able to spot. The city of Excelsis is on there as well, which is
or Thundia. I thought you said Fundia. I said I want to go to Fundia. Sounds fun.
Soon. And then in the far left of that,
I was really excited by this one.
The far left of the map, you can see Beast's Grave. So if you've been playing games of Warhammer Underworlds for the past couple of years, that's where they've all been happening. In that little tiny hex there. But it's really nice to see the worlds of Warhammer Age of Sigmar come together.
There's a place on the far left called Gaping Portal.
Probably 3 or 4 years, really.
I don't know how many people want to go to Gaping Portal.
And also that the events in some of those really big
Gaping.
narratives feel like they really matter. So like, when a city fell in the Broken Realm, people are like, wow, that's a really big
Getting
deal.
gaped by beasts.
Monsters have fallen. The events matter in Age of Sigmar, and the story keeps rolling. And
Oh man.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's something just exciting about maps for me. I've always liked maps in books. And
I should turn the drawing thing on, but yeah, over by the L on Rondel, it says Gaping Portal. I don't know if I want to get attacked at Gaping Portal. Might get gaped. Oh shit. Some sort of monster coming. You're gonna get gaped. Oh shit. Ghost of Starman. The cold goes in through your eyes and ears when you watch the trailer. Oh. Yeah, okay. Ghost, I'm afraid I think my way would be more fun. We'd end up in Gaping Portal. Aaron, a new edition of Age of Sigmar. Are you fucking kidding me? Is this shit really necessary? 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 Are we talking necessary? In this hobby? In this whole hobby? Necessary? I don't know, bud. In the category of unnecessary, this entire hobby would fit in that category. So, if we're talking about an entire category that is unnecessary, and we're talking necessary, I'm afraid there's a bit of disconnect for me. And it's made up shit, and new edition, yeah, of course, new editions, especially because so many people whine about rule clarifications and updating rules, and and so to save everybody from buying all these different supplements, which I'm sure they could just put out supplements and update rules, but then we'd be walking around big fucking rule books again, and all the different rules. Well, no, this was updated in this book, and blah blah blah. This rule change was here, and this according to this fact there was this, and no, this is fucking new edition, bang. This is the rules, this is the cores, bang, boom. This is what we're doing, right? So, yeah. Oh, we got another thing going here. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, it's a gate. It's a realm gate.
Brave soldiers went to the bog. One disappeared right into the fog.
He was that gaping.
2 brave soldiers went to the mire. One disappeared from around the fire.
Oh, spooky.
1 brave soldier went to the fen.
You
None
probably-
of the soldiers were heard of again.
They all got gaped. Oh, new breed. It's a gaping breed. Yeah, I'm all about the gaping right now, so sorry. Oh, that was it? Are they done? Are they done? What's going on? I don't know what's going on. I think they're done. They probably got word that I was making jokes about gaping. I don't think Games Workshop gives a fuck about what I say or do. But anyway. I'm pretty sure they don't give a shit about anything that I say, about any of the stupid jokes I make or anything like that. I'm pretty sure it probably doesn't even show up on the radar. Pretty sure. Oh, man. Guillermo GL. Nice art. Yeah, I like that art. I like that image of that character coming in with the spear and everything like that. It looks a bit like what they did for Sanguinius, for Horus Heresy. The sculpt for that. It's kind of like the same thing, right? He's kind of diving down with his spear and he's got his wings. He's looking all angelic, right? And then you have this new character for Age of Sigmar who's doing basically the same thing. Yeah. Interesting. I like it, though. I think the character is really cool. I don't know if it's something I'd pick up, but it's pretty darn cool. Be fun to paint those wings. Man, you can go any direction, really. Again, like for Age of Sigmar, like because it doesn't have all of this baggage with it, that it's kind of a clean slate kind of thing, and you can go anywhere. Like I'm talking like as a painter. As miniature painters, those of us who get really fired up about the painting, yeah, you can go anywhere with a lot of this stuff, you know? So, yeah, I think it's really great. And, yeah, I mean, like, how you want to go about painting a Stormcast? Like, is there a wrong way to paint a Stormcast Eternal? Like, anybody out there who's really into the background and anything like that, like, is there a wrong way to paint a Stormcast Eternal? Like, as far as whatever colors, created textures, whatever. Is there a wrong way? Because Space Marines, there are wrong ways to go about it. Blood Angels, okay? If you're going to go Blood Angels, do you paint it blue? Oh, no, not really, right? You say, oh, my Blood Angels are blue. People look at you sideways like, really? Blue? Blue Blood Angels? Blue Blood Angels. Blue Blood... It's kind of fun to say, Blue Blood Angels. Anyway, I think that's the kind of thing I'm talking about is, you know, you show up with rainbow colored Stormcast Eternals, nobody's going to go, oh, that's weird. Oh, that's not really in the, you know, I mean, like they could be anything, right? So that's the point I'm driving at is you can do Stormcast Eternals any which way, right? And I think that's really great. Space Marines, people go, ew, you know, well, you painted your Space Marines like that, you know? What chapter is that? Ugh, you know? Whereas Stormcast Eternals, you paint them up any fucking way you want. And I think that's really great. And I think that's awesome. Again, I'm not a big Age of Sigmar player or, you know, that heavy invested into armies, or lore, books, or anything like that. But I think what Games Workshop is doing with Age of Sigmar it surpasses what they're doing with Warhammer 40k. And in fact, I would go as far as to say that Games Workshop is neglecting their oldest child. Their older baby, they're neglecting for their new baby. If Games Workshop was a family, if they truly were a family, in Age of Sigmar, Warhammer 40k, and all the other box games, right? Battlefleet Gothic, yeah, that's the grandpa. They shipped him off to an old age home. He's sitting in an old age home, and they don't visit him. That's Battlefleet Gothic. Battlefleet Gothic. Blood Bowl, it's that weird auntie. And they're like, oh, okay, well, here's some more, you know. Yeah, Blood Bowl, it's still here, and she hasn't changed much. And we love her, so You know, she's still part of the family. Battlefleet Gothic, though, that's Grandpa. Grandpa. Epic is another one. Yeah, that's Grandma. And really, realistic, like Epic, yeah, is kind of the grandmother of modern Warhammer 40,000, because so much of Epic has creeped into Warhammer 40,000 that, yeah, you know, Epic is the grandmother in Warhammer 40,000. And yeah, she's in an old age home, forgotten. They've forgotten her. She's still there. She's still part of the family, but she's forgotten. They don't visit her. Right? And Warhammer 40,000 is the older child now, and is being left to do whatever, and there's no love. There's no love there. All the love is the new baby. The new baby's getting all the love. Age of Sigmar is the new baby, and the new baby's getting all the love, and that's a family out of whack. All that, everything, Epic, Grandma, Auntie, baby, right? All that. It needs to be harmonized, right? And yeah. If we're drawing parallels with stuff, right? B-Man, F, I need to go. I'll watch when I get home. Bye-bye. Later, dude. Ghost of Starman, episode 344. Don't go to Gaping Portal. Love it. We're going with it. We're going with it. That's what we're going with. Don't go to Gaping Portal. For God's sakes, don't go to Gaping Portal. For God's sake, you'll get gaped. For God's sakes, man, don't do it. You'll get gaped. I'm sure this will probably get flagged. I'm sure, but yeah, anyway. The stupid shit we talk about here. I don't know. Aaron Siege, episode 44. Gaping Portal is just cover for Gaping Hole. Yeah. Greenleaf, tell me I'm a good boy, Kris. You're a good boy, Kris? Ghost of Starman. You heard it here first. Evil's been breeding. Yes, they've been breeding. They've been getting gaped and breeding. Guillermo. Why would you set your camp next to a realm gate? That soldier had it coming. You're victim shaming, man. That's victim shaming. Ghost of Starman. The wrong way to paint a Stormcast is without taking care of your brush. You got it. Ghost, fuck, man. You've been on the ball. You're on the ball today, bud. Give your nuts a tug, bud. Jabba's left nut. I think they were listening. Right now, they're having a team meet on developing a gaping horde faction. A gaping horde faction? Holy shit. Could you imagine? A gaping horde faction? Holy shit. Dark Commission. The gaping hole in your wallet. Yeah, that's it. That's another one. The gaping hole in your wallet. Fuck, man. This whole collective of us, like, this is like, you know, a brain trust. This is a think tank. All of us getting together. Could you imagine if we could all just sit in a room together and just brainstorm? Fuck. We could solve world hunger. Ghost of Starman, you think GW are neglecting their oldest child? They straight up murdered the actual firstborn. Remember Warhammer Fantasy? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, they just... or is the other way we could look at it is Warhammer Fantasy transitioned. Right? Is that another way to look at it? TH. The old Rogue Trader book was so creative and open-ended. It's weird how 40K became comparatively a rigid universe. Yeah, exactly, right? But see, that's the thing. Like, and I've talked about this in the past, that like the roots of Warhammer 40,000 are nothing like what it is today. Like Warhammer 40,000 was very light and comical and was social commentary, and it was really good. It was really good sci-fi in the regards that it borrowed from so much other really great sci-fi. You know, you put it in a mixing bowl, and that's Warhammer 40,000. And there was so many great things that could come from it, and which is why I think they borrow so much from it, because they want to go back to that original recipe. And Warhammer 40,000 today, as a whole, takes itself way too seriously, and you know what I mean. Like, and it's not the right attitude. It's not the right attitude. The attitude's all wrong, and we need to adjust the attitude a bit. And because Warhammer 40,000, like as far as like the setting and how it's treated and stuff like that, like it takes itself way too seriously. And Age of Sigmar, it can run that risk, but because it's so brand new, for me, it gets a pass in that regards, because they're creating a new mythos, and so for me, like Age of Sigmar, if it comes in and it's straight up taking itself seriously, that's fine, because right from the hop, right. And I realize that, as it evolves and changes and, stuff like that, it can change it. The tone of it can also change as well. And, it's their property. So, they're free to do that, right? And so, But Warhammer 40,000, Or maybe I'm just becoming less interested in Warhammer 40,000, considering the fact that I've invested a lot of my effort and time and resources to Warhammer 40,000. And I am more... sci-fi than I am high fantasy, right? So at least that's the way I've always kind of viewed myself in regards to how I, enjoy my free time and, my hobbying. And but with Age of Sigmar though, I mean, like, from a creative standpoint, I mean, they're getting all the big brains. All the wrinkly brains are on the Age of Sigmar team. As far as I'm concerned, as far as sculpting and, all this effort, it's all wrinkly brain all day long on that side, and all the smooth brains at GW are all working on the 40K stuff, and well, except the Necron stuff. The Necron stuff's pretty damn good, and the new Ork stuff's pretty cool. But that's more of a credit to the sculptors. But as far as like what they could be doing with the 40K stuff, like realistically, 40K, the sky's the limit, right? As far as like where they go, but yet it's been so rigid. It's been so rigid, and that's boring. For example, like in something like Star Trek, where, it has long existing legacy type of factions and ideas, you're still open to new things in Star Trek in that concept, right? Star Wars is very similar. Although because as they continue to establish what that galaxy looks like, it becomes more and more and more and more rigid, right? But the galaxy's a big place. Whereas, in Warhammer 40,000, I mean, it all seems to be very nailed down. There's very little mystery in Warhammer 40,000, right? It's all pretty nailed down. There's no wiggle room for innovation, for something creative, something brand new. What if they brought flying fishmen to Warhammer 40,000? That would get flat out rejected. People would hate it immediately. The nerd rage would become a tsunami over something as stupid as that, because it's all been nailed down. And because for whatever reason, the mystery was written out of Warhammer 40,000, and that mystery was what propelled so much of it forward. Because it could go anywhere, right? It's unfortunate. But Age of Sigmar, I applaud Age of Sigmar because it's virgin territory. They can go anywhere. Gaping virgins, right? It's gaping virgin territory, and they can go anywhere with it, and that's really awesome. As far as any creative people, that's fantastic territory to be in. As far as writing, sculpting, painting, right? All these creative endeavors. Yeah. So, anyway. What time we at here? Holy cramoles, we got 9 minutes left of the show. And I haven't even done Instagram or emails yet. Jeez Louise. Better hurry up. Quit fucking talking about gaping stuff. Evan Belleau, Warhammer Fantasy is their dead name. They prefer to be called Age of Sigmar. We all need to get with the program. It's 2021. Exactly. Right? TH. But no one has actually played a game of Age of Sigmar, right? But no one? Well, I haven't. I have Idoneth Deepkin. And I have a bunch of Stormcast. I probably could make an army of Stormcast. I've got a bunch of it. Oh, I have Lizardmen stuff too. And I've got Chaos. I've got Demons. I'm gonna look around here. But yeah, otherwise, I don't have. I mean, I like the army that I wanted to collect and build for Age of Sigmar. Yeah, is Idoneth Deepkin. I like them. It's fun. It's different. I mean, like again, with Age of Sigmar, I always jump back to the Fishman stuff because it's so different. And again, it gets bonus points with me for going outside the box. Right? I said at the beginning of the show today. Outside the box, I'm in. You get points for that. It's not an automatic win, but you get points for it. You get more points for it, right? So, yeah, that's my line of thinking of it. Anyway. Ghosterman. It's because I've not had a drink in a while. My brain actually has enough balance to avoid falling off the ball. Fantasy transition to Age of Sigmar. That'll piss off the gatekeepers. I like it. Yeah, fantasy transition. It didn't die. It transitioned. It became one with the Force, and yeah. Ebb and flow. Oh no, I read that one. TH, but no one actually. Oh no, I read that too. Guillermo, Warhammer 40k, and Judge Dredd were born as over-the-top ridiculous violence, born in the 80s. Yes, yeah, it is. And I'm a kid of the 80s, and Warhammer 40,000, yeah, it's my Rogue Trader. That was my jam, man. I got in. I was immediately hooked into Warhammer 40,000 through Rogue Trader. Well, through Space Hulk, and then Rogue Trader, and I got right into Warhammer 40,000. And yeah, it was all these different things, and it was lots of mystery and like, what was this about? What was that about? And I guess maybe when I was young too. I mean, you're looking for these answers, and of course, and you get in your gaming groups, and everybody's speculating about this and that, and like there wasn't a lot of established lore for stuff at that point. And so when they started really kind of nailing this stuff down, and it's kind of like, well, that's it. That's all you could come up with was that it was this reason or that reason. And it's like, and then now we get to the point where we're at now, and it's kind of it's all been nailed down. And so now that's it. This is the realm. This is what it is. And, at least with Star Trek, you know what I mean? Like the idea that, it's always discovery, right? You're always discovering stuff, and you're always learning something new, and there's new things to encounter. And you know what I mean? Like, it's that kind of thing where it can go anywhere. The storytelling can go anywhere because you're always encountering something new. Star Wars is starting to get into that territory of, well, it's all been established and it's all blah, 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 And it gets fucking dull. That's dull, And only smooth brains enjoy that kind of stuff. Having everything nailed down. Everything is where it is. Well, this is this because this was established this. And fuck off, The smooth brains can fuck off. Smooth brains can fuck right off. Wrinkly brains, welcome to the show. Skywatcher Adept. I don't think I've ever read that name before. Skywatcher Adept. Like that. Liber Xenologus 40k was published in 2021. It has awesome art of incredibly interesting Xeno species, but GW doesn't want to give love to Xenos for some reason. Yeah, and again, I don't know why. Again, I like this is probably insulting to the design team, and in fact, it could be the exact same team who works on both, although I don't think so. The what we see wouldn't jive with that kind of narrative, but this is insulting. But yeah, all the wrinkly brain plays are being made on the Age of Sigmar stuff, and all the smooth brain stuff is on the Warhammer 40k. And I love Warhammer 40k. Warhammer 40,000 is beloved by me. I'm like, even back in the day, fantasy, Lord of the Rings, it's cool and all, it's fun, but I didn't really get into Warhammer Fantasy until Bretonnians really got flushed out with that box set when they made Bretonnians. That's when I started getting more into fantasy, was when Bretonnians came out. But Warhammer 40,000, yeah, I've been there since Rogue Trader. And, you know, Warhammer 40,000 is dear to me, you know. But Age of Sigmar, yo, total props. The models, the gameplay, well, I haven't played any games, but from what I understand, you know, yeah. I just hope they don't, you know, create this monolith around, you know, the lore of Age of Sigmar. I hope they keep it just constant discovery, that any crazy crap can happen, right? Because then that's always fresh excuse for new things. Warhammer 40,000 has no excuse to create new things. Or maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe there's a big gaping excuse for something new in Warhammer 40,000, but yeah, I'm behind on my reading. I realize I'm behind on my reading. Maybe there is an excuse to introduce new things into Warhammer 40,000, but they won't, because it's smooth brains. There's smooth brains on the design side of things of Warhammer 40,000. At least that's the way it feels. It's a lot of smooth brain stuff. And, you know, smooth brain plays don't interest me. They don't excite me. TH, the artist who was commemorated at the beginning of Warhammer stream, had done the cover of Dark Future, the game of Highway Warriors. Yeah, I've played Dark Future, which was awesome. 80s GW, as you'll see. Look it up. I don't have to fucking look it up. I lived it. You look it up. Yeah, I played fucking Dark Future. Yeah, the little plastic cars, and you fucking attached them into the car. Yeah, I fucking played that game. Fuck, tell me to look it up. Fuck you. You look it up. Ghost of Starman Deluxe, I reckon it's about time for me to head off to dinner. See y'all later, monkeys. Fact, monkeys are proven to have wrinkly brains. There you go. You heard it there from Ghost of Starman. Monkeys do have wrinkly brains. And they do. Finlay Robinson, hi Kris. Hi. Fantasy was token-based, whereas 40k is a bit more of unique IP. Design, for the most part, yes. Although the same tropes, Tolkien-type tropes, were just translated into Warhammer 40,000, right? You have the humans, the superhumans, you have your elves, you have your orcs, you know, rampaging orc hordes, right? Elves being superior to humans, and you know what I mean? Like those tropes, they translated into Warhammer 40,000. So Warhammer 40,000 is the fantasy tropes, just carried into a sci-fi setting. That's all it is. It's not a big brain play. It's not a wrinkly brain play. Ghost of Starman Deluxe, also before I head out, may not even be design team's fault. Might be GW higher ups have too much control of what's going on and they're limiting creativity. Sure. I'm sure there's many excuses we could all make. But ultimately, it is the play. Right? The play is being made. You know, I mean, you see it a lot in NFL. You know, yeah, the player here could have did this. Yeah, coaching staff could have done this. The owners, yes, could have done this. A combination of all of them will make a shitty team. Right? And also a little bit of luck. But I've always enjoyed the expression, you know, when we talk about luck, you know, oh, we were lucky, you know. But what is luck? Luck is part preparation and opportunity. Right? So if you're prepared for this stuff, and when the opportunity rises, you jump on it, right? You deal with it, you encounter it, right? That's luck. So All right, really quickly, let's jump over to the Instagrams because we haven't done it, and I think there was some things, and holy crumbly, we're 1 minute OT. I got work to do, so I don't have a theme song for Instagram, so Instagram. Anyway, first one here is from Alex7. Commission work, streamlining the process because I'll most likely be painting more in the future. And it's, was it Loki or whatever the fuck his name? Let's give it a like. Very cool. Neat. I think a little bit more definition on highlights, but I mean, it's neat. You picked out like the little details, like the little cords in the gun, and yeah. The biggest thing I can say is if the customer was happy with it, that's all that matters. That is all that matters, especially when you're playing the commission game. Yeah, all that matters is what your customer thinks. If the customer says, "I love it, it's perfect," then success. And no matter what I say, matters, because ultimately, it is. Ooh, I like the wolfy head on there. Is that a standard GW one, or is that something like 3D printed or something? I'd imagine the regular previous wolf head things. Or is there an updated sprue for converting Primaris into like Space Wolf duders? I have no idea. Again, I don't pay a lot of attention to Space Marine stuff. So, yeah. But it looks good. Yeah, I'm sure your customer is very pleased with these. It's nice and clean, straightforward. Yeah. I'm sure your customer was happy. Very, very cool. Yeah, if anybody out there, ooh, I like this. Yeah, if anybody out there wants to share their work on the Instagram, yeah, use the hashtag #WayO'TheBrush. Let's give that a like. I like these new Necrons. They're fun. I like the glowiness on this guy. I'm not sure I would have went with that gold on the upper carapace. I probably would have stuck with more of that blue that you created on the limbs. I'd have probably used that because that would have jived more with this silver, this blue, and this yellow green. And then you got this big thing of yellow on the upper carapace. I'm not sure that I would have done that. Alex, I've been slacking on keeping on date on the Instagram. Progress on the Indominus box set is coming along. Yes. Oh, I see. You got it. It's your accent there. Okay. Yeah. See, like, it's fine and all, but again, when you're throwing around a lot of colors, like you've got 3 colors that are kind of fight for the viewer's attention, and that can, I mean, it's fine close up, but at a distance, it can kind of become kind of muddled. As far as like what is this faction's color scheme? Like, what is the color scheme here? This gold, silver, and purple and green. That's 4 colors we're talking already, right? And on miniatures, it can feel a little overwhelming for viewing. Yeah, now we got blue. You know what I mean? Like, I like the blue, and I like the green, I like the silver, and that should have been it. That purple and the magenta on the blade, you know, and the gold. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. But I like it. I like the green glow you got going on. That's really good. But yeah, I don't think that blade needed to be magenta. I think the what is gold could have been that metallic blue. At least I think it's a metallic blue. See here, this works for me because right here we have that green is mostly dominant. And we have that slight blue, and a little bit of gold plays nicely. The gold's not too intense here because the black inlay takes care of a lot of that gold element, right? And yeah, the gold isn't that prominent, whereas the blue and the green just play nicely. You know? Yeah. Here, I really like this paint job you've done here. This is really good. And then the gold thing. See the arm, the skirt on the arm. I think you should have went with that blue. This would have worked really well. Or guess if you really wanted that to be gold, you could have knocked a bit of that intensity out a bit. You could have did the little circular things. You could have did those gold with the skirt being black, and maybe did an edging of gold on each of the little plates. You know what I mean? Like just kind of echo what you had created on that necklace, because that necklace, it feels kind of balanced with the overall vibe of the model. And yeah, as an accent, the gold works, but when it's really dominant like that on the model, you know what I mean? Like it's just, yeah. Like, see how, like, when we're looking at it from these kind of angles, see how, like, our eye is not competing too much. The green and blue stand out to us on that neutral background of the silver, right? And on the weapons, it looks kind of cool, but again, it competes. Like, I like that destroyer. I like the green and the blade, but I don't think that magenta needed to push that far forward on there, because the green and the magenta are just kind of competing with each other. Although I like the blue all over the place on the destroyers. And the bases are done really well. I like the snow. I like the snow on the grass and everything like that. I like that. Ooh. Oh, wait. It was the next model. Was there more to this? Shit. Hold on. Sorry, I clicked the wrong damn button. Oh, no. That was the end. Okay. I liked it. Yeah, I liked it. Alrighty. Good stuff, Alex. Thank you for using the hashtag. And, yeah. I think overall... Like, for example... Okay, here. Yeah, let's look at it this way. The little cryptek thing on the far left. Am I on the right window here? Yeah, I'm on the right window. So the little cryptek thing on the far left, and these destroyers, they are in the same space because the bases unify them, right? They're in the snowy grass tundra thing, right? But what unifies them as a faction, visually, right? Because he's got that big gold carapace. And he does not feel like he belongs with the destroyers, because the destroyers on their carapace, it's that blue. The head is blue. The legs are blue, right? And his weapons are purple. That is not mirrored on the canaptic thing or cryptek thing, whatever the fuck it's called, right? See, he feels like he fits in with the destroyers because he's got blue on his carapace, you know, and he's got the green glowiness, right? Yeah, I don't think the carapace on these guys needed to be done gold. I think it should have been blue. But that's just my opinion. I mean, you don't have to change it. I think just, you know, I think it's just kind of things like that. Just, you know, in the future. This one is from Disco Duke, or Disco Mini Painter, I should say. Work in progress on this 3D print of Thingiverse, 54mm scale, and also look at the transportable painting storage box. Oh, he's giving me orders now. Well, it's a pretty cool sculpt, but it is a bigger model. It's a 54mm, which is like, you know, double the size of a Warhammer 40k figure. Good detail, though. Good print. Like, honestly, like, I don't see any of the print lines. So that's really good. It's a good quality print. It's a good sculpt. I mean, especially off Thingiverse, which might have been free, I don't know, or only cost like $1 or $2. Now the paint job, I don't know. Is it finished? I don't know if it's finished. It looks a little more work in progress to me. Just because I can see paint on that kneecap, and yeah. I'm going to assume this is work in progress. Although I could be wrong. Oh, look at this. Getting organized. Oh, I like the little sticky tack for all his brushes. It's a good idea. Quirk one time, he put magnets in the brushes and then just slapped them on the thing. Yeah. It's like a little, you know. What's wrong with just storing them in a cup? I mean, I realize with this travel situation, that's a good idea. I think another one would have been like a little Velcro along the roof, and then have little Velcro loops, and you can just put the brush in and then just Velcro it down. You know, the tack is good, but I think like a strip of Velcro, and then having a little Velcro loop, and then you could just tack the brush onto the Velcro, and then that should keep it secure. And I think for your precision brushes, you should always leave your caps on. Transport. Oh, wait, was that the last one? Yeah, that was the last one. Yeah, gave it a like. Thank you, Discaduke. Very cool. Shaky Brush Minis. The first 7 of my army are complete. These cursed lads are ready to get their heads dirty. Get their heads dirty. Let the rot set in. Okay. The graffiti on the background. The Emperor is DEA? The Emperor is DEA? He's the Drug Enforcement Agency? Alright. Let's give that a heart. I like the color scheme. I like that strong white. It's really cool. Now see here with this example, like we were talking about color schemes overall, right? And I recall loosely about comments previously about how, you know, like the gold trim is more of the accent. Really the predominant colors here are the purple, the deep purple, and the stark white. You know, those are the first things. And so everything else should not really conflict with that. That this purple and white is your main concern. Not to say that you can't have other colors at play, you know, the whole rainbow if you want, but in small amounts, right? So there really should not be a lot of colors that it should be as bold as, say, the purple against the white. Now we can have little elements like, for example, Buddy in the upper part that has that little bit splash of blue on his shoulder. Yeah, that's fine, right? The big rusty weapons, again. But when you knock saturation out of those, that works a lot better overall for your color scheme, right? Because you run the risk of just too many colors at play. Oh, excuse me. And also when you have, you know, predominantly the purple and the white, the little spots of color that you use bring attention. And so like the blue brings attention. The little spots of green bring attention, right? Yeah. Very cool. I like them. And even though it is a stark white for the armor, even though it has corrosion going on, I still really dig it. And it still feels nurgly to me, you know? I mean, sure, you could, you know, argue, well, the Death Guard and the Death Guard were a white color scheme and blah, 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 you know, but whatever. Whatever. Siege and Destroy areas. Give that a like. My first Warhammer 40k kill team. My second favorite Space Marine chapter, the Space Wolves. Nothing special, but they were a lot of fun to paint, and I think they will look good on the tabletop. Well, yes, they look good for the tabletop. Definitely. 100%. Nice and clean. All the areas are picked out. You got the transfers on, symbols, right? No, it looks really good. It's definitely really good tabletop. 100%. Yeah. Solid. It's a base coat and a wash. Right? That's all I'm looking at is a base coat and a wash. That's tabletop, man. And, you know, man. You know, like sometimes we have to give ourselves permission to just do something just, you know, to get it for the tabletop. And, you know, especially when we have aspirations of, you know, becoming really, you know, handy and proficient in our painting, we have to give ourselves permission to just, fuck it. I'm just going to slap some paint down, give it a shade wash, finish the base, slap the decals on, bang, I'm done, moving on, right? And, yeah. And this is an excellent example of that, because I know, you know, Aaron, he does paint very well, but yeah, we got to give ourselves permission to just, you know, fuck it. I'm just gonna just paint this up. I just want tabletop because I want to play some games. I want it to look cool, and yeah, mission accomplished. There, Kill Team and shit like that is a good example of, you know, just get it done, right? That's me. Well, that's not me, but I mean, okay. So yeah, we're back into some regular shit here. Okay. Yeah, we saw Disco Duke. Okay, we're up on we're all caught up on our thingamabobber. You know, thingamabobber. Finlay Robinson, the blue and yellow, good complementary colors. Yes, definitely. Do you think more of a violet would have been better for the blade? More or blue violet? A blue violet, yes. A blue violet would have been cool, especially if it went from that blue of the metallic and then just to the violet on its edges, just like a little edge highlight. That would have worked as well. Yeah, pulling it back towards the blue definitely would have harmonized the overall color scheme. The gold. Yeah, if the person was adamant about having that gold on that carapace for the Cryptek stuff, pushing it towards the green side of things would have worked, right? Because then that would have complemented all the green elements going on in the model. Because predominantly, right, it's that blue-green on the background of gray with the silver being the neutral tone, and with the bold colors being the blue and the green, right? And having that really saturated gold, you know, especially when you're going to treat it like normal golds where you're throwing browns and it's getting deeper and you're throwing more yellows into it and getting brighter, and you know what I mean? Like, it just, it conflicts with the eye. And at least on miniatures, not to say in general, like, you know, anytime you have too many colors in play, it's, you know, because you can also use it deliberately, right? Because look at, like, for example, Harlequins, you can throw a whole riot of color onto them. Use every color. Use all the colors on Harlequins. And it fits. Because it fits within the theme, the narrative, right? And yeah. But still, I mean, the part of the mastery is also, you know, knowing the rules and knowing when to break the rules, right? So there's always lots of wiggle room. So even though those Necrons, there was a lot of colors going on. It wasn't a lot. It was like 4 colors. But for the subject matter, and also too, it's also the skill in which we employ the use of the colors. And but oftentimes in a lot of paintings, you're looking for a balance in color, right? Too much this way or too dark, too light, Again, there's always a balance. You're always trying to find a balance there. Unless, of course, your goal is to show the imbalance, to illustrate the imbalance, to focus on the imbalance. Then it works, right? Again, entirely subjective. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only person to feel this way or feel the opposite way. I mean, like, again, it's all subjective, right? Art is very subjective. And so, I'm sure somebody else looking at those models will go, oh no, that's perfect. That's a perfect blend of this and that, right? That's entirely possible. I don't know how many people would, but I'm sure there's folk out there that will go, yeah, no, it's perfect. It's perfect. Don't change a thing. And, feel free to, if that jives more with you and your understanding of it, and, then yeah, stay with it. But if you're looking for a recommendation, that's where I would go. Finlay Robinson, that's weird. I put up a with a brush on Insta. Did it not work? I have no idea. I just refreshed my Insta. Oh no. If you just did it, then yeah, it probably might not have shown. Are you Bearded Yeti? Is that you, Finlay? If you're Bearded Yeti, then yeah, I just got it. This is Bearded Yeti. We'll give it a like. Getting there with Armand Le Sprout. Ooh, I like the skin. I like the head. Oh, I like the pants. We got some camouflage going. Oh, damn, we got some painting going on here. I like the leather. I like it. See, now here's an example of a lot of colors at play, but it doesn't really conflict with your eye, right? Because we have the greens, we got the browns, we got this teal tone, we got these oranges, and then we have like all the gray and the browns and stuff like that, right? So in an example like this, where we have a lot of colors at play and a lot of things going on, right? The color is not overly saturated, and the balance, like okay, for all of you out there, what are the first? Oh, you even got magentas going on. See, like we got a whole bunch of colors going on, but it doesn't really conflict. Now, why? Why is that? Because the saturation. They're not highly saturated. The only really saturated points are the shadows of the green, the teal, but even the teal comes up and loses saturation. But it really is, it's just the orange, and that orange pulls you into that center, right? And then you're venturing around that green, but then the orange in the shadows on the head help keep you, in the model. The feet and the legs, we see the details, but otherwise, there's not a whole lot going on in there. The extremities, the arms, again, there's not a lot pulling us out there, right? Our main focus is in the center of the model, and that's fine. But yeah, I mean, as you move your eyes about, yeah, it looks fantastic. And I'm seeing some really fantastic painting here. Oh, I like that. Is that freehanded on the back, or like the writing, or is that sculpted in there? Really nice work on the leather, like on that. I don't know what that satchel thing is. I don't know if it's like a holster or what, but yeah, I like the leather work. I like that little bit of blue in there. Yeah, again, see, like, there's a lot of colors at play here, but nothing conflicts. And this here is a good example of having a lot of colors on a model, but they don't conflict because the amount on which they are on the model, right? They're very minimal. And they're surrounded by a lot of a neutral tone, right? Like the light brown, the jacket and everything like that, that's a lighter brown, and that falls close to more of neutrality. The pants, it's just grays, right? A little bit of black, right? The boots, dark. The gun, dark. Again, the eye is drawn in towards that orange, and I didn't even notice that little splash of magenta. It almost looks like there's an eyeball in his chest, or maybe it's a gem or something. I don't know. But either way, see, in the body, though, in his core, he's got orange, magenta, teal, and green. But they don't conflict. So why don't they conflict? It's because they're not that heavily saturated. They're not that bold. And that's fine. And that works. And again, that's how you find that balance, right? If you want to have a lot of colors on the model, you have to sacrifice a little bit for balance. There has to be a sacrifice. Unless, of course, again, the goal is to illustrate the imbalance. Like, for example, like the Harlequins. The Harlequins are a great example of that kind of imbalance, where they're just a riot of colors because of the very nature of what the character is, right? No, this is a really great paint job. Bearded Yeti. Yeah, goddamn Sam Squanch. Oh, Finlay. It's still work in progress? Yeah, okay. Nope, cast on. Oh, the backpack, right, okay. It's the harp, apparently. Oh, okay. Finlay, any critique? I get so little constructive feedback. As far as like what I'm seeing, I'm thinking it's a really great balance of color. I'm seeing a lot of control. Like as far as like what you would want to improve upon, like the shoes and knee pad could be pushed a little further. I suppose maybe the shadows could be pushed a little deeper into the camouflage pattern on the pants. Realistically, like as far as the color usage, I think it's really great. I have no idea what this model's from, or Oh, it's Infinity. Okay, I guess I could read the fucking hashtags, right? I mean, it's really just more style and brush control. But I mean, your brush control looks really fantastic. I mean, like I see some really tight edges, some really good highlights. You know, you might want to try, you know, light sourcing, right? Maybe changing the angle of the light sourcing. You know, go for a bit more of that Rembrandt style lighting. Some people like Richard Gray, they really enjoy that dramatic more lighting, where it's like a 20, 30 degree lighting angle. That's why if you ever look at like Richard Gray's painting, that's why his feels so very dramatic. It's because he's going for that more of a Rembrandt lighting. And yeah, maybe that's something you want to look at, is the light sourcing, right? Because see how, like, for example, the highlights on the sleeves of his jacket, as opposed to the sleeves of his face. Pff, idiot. Anyway, you see how your highlights kind of run all the way downwards, whereas see how we're like the natural lighting of the way the actual ambient light is bouncing on the model surface. Maybe you want to replicate that more accurately. Although for these kind of alien sculpts and stuff like that, I think made up light sourcing works better when we get into actual lighting on models, especially things that are not realistic. I don't know. We're always looking to bring realism into the picture, and I don't understand that. Again, it's entirely situational. You know, like if you want to paint them in big bold colors, I mean, like who says that coat had to be painted leather, right? You could have painted that red. Could painted it blue, could painted whatever the fuck you wanted, right? You know, yeah. No, I think it's really good. I mean, was this actually just imitating what you saw in the box art? Is the box art painted this way? Yeah, man, like your technical ability is really, really good, and you know, I see this kind of painting on a similar caliber and what we, like, I don't know how long you've been listening to me, you know, go on about stuff, but like Scott's another excellent painter, one of the monkeys, and you know, his technical ability is really, really good, and you know, he feels like he needs further growth. And I think when you start feeling that, and you know, your technical ability is obvious, I think you need to start getting in more into the more abstract type stuff, the narrative, building the narrative in the paint job, and you know, the light sourcing, and you know, these kind of things, because I mean, like, it's obvious that you have great control of where paint is going. And yeah, maybe that's the next phase for you, is building that character, building the narrative. See, like this guy feels like something out of, you know, like some sort of Blade Runner type of scenario. You know, he like the sculpt itself is really interesting because he's obviously some sort of alien, but he's like, I don't know, an assassin. He's some sort of, you know, desperado type character in some sort of alien universe. One of my favorite bits of artwork that inspired me was here. Hold on, let's see if I can pull it up. Let me switch cameras real fast here. This is one of my favorite bits of artwork. It's just a fucking great piece. Oh, it's not the actual. No, I don't want the book. I want the artwork. There we go. Yeah. It's not a really great pic of it. Oh fuck. Oh wait, here's. Yeah. Okay, we'll go with this. Ugh. Oh, it's a Pinterest thing. Okay, here we go. Okay. This is one of my favoriteest. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Okay, that's not bad. It's one of my favorite pieces. I had this poster on my wall for ages. It's one of my favorite pieces of artwork, and it's a Iron Maiden poster I had, "Stranger in a Strange Land," and I just like this. Like, this is kind of for everybody. This is like this is a bit of Star Wars and it's pretty Star Wars and Blade Runner, right? And you know, you got this Eddie's kind of this Clint Eastwood type of vibe, right? He's you know, the outlaw Josie Wales here coming in. He's collecting. He's a bounty hunter or something, right? And this guy, he's interrupting this card game, and the guy looks like he's having a drink, and he's going for his pistol. And our hero here in the center, he's lighting a smoke, and he's like, "You're fucking come with me. I can bring you in hot, or I can bring you in cold." But he's going for his pistol. You see the cards are falling off the table, so he's obviously rushing to grab his gun, and the little dwarf guy in the background is like, "Oh, what the fuck's going on? This guy, oh, shit's about to go down." And the mantis in the back is like, "Oh yeah, look at this. I'm gonna sip my drink here while I'm gonna watch this guy get blown away." The people on the far right, you know, the lady in the background there, she's unconcerned with this. It's another evening in this fucking bar, and yeah, and it's, of course, you know, the clock on the wall, it's 2 minutes to midnight, and this guy's about to fucking get blown away, right? So this is, again, you know, you're looking at technical aspects, or we're looking at building narrative, and with really great art, miniature painting as well. You know, you want to build the narrative, right? Because yeah, you can paint, like, imagine painting in broad brushstrokes. An artist can just paint in broad brushstrokes, but it invokes such emotion in it. And technical skill, well, they're just big broad brushstrokes, and you know what I mean? Like, okay, well, anybody could do that. Well, yeah, anybody could, but the emotional reaction, the emotional pay dirt, right? That's what you're going for, and that's what really gets into the nitty gritty of art. It's harder with miniature painting because you're dealing with a very limited canvas, right? Whereas a blank canvas, whatever, can be whatever, right? You can show whatever you want. You can create whatever you want in there. It's a blank canvas. Whereas, you know, a lot of miniatures, like a Space Marine, you can view it like a blank canvas. But when you deviate outside the norms, man, that the viewer is just, oh, you know, and, you know, but that's a smooth brain. Whereas when a smooth brain reacts to something and they don't know why, then you've really hit upon something, right? You've hit upon something. So, yeah. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. But yeah. Where the fuck am I in these comments here? Oh, Coma. Hey, a little bit late. No problem. Finley, the shoes and knee pads need painting. Yeah. I think just like on the shoes, just a little bit of highlight, you know, in the folds of the pants, just shaded a bit, not too heavy, you know, because you've obviously for the most part have gone for very, I don't want to say high key because like the neck cloth has some really deep shadows. You have a combination of things going on, right? Where you have like really high contrast, very low key versus very high key, and some elements, you know, you have this, both. But again, using both of those theories can play very nicely on a model if you find a balance, if you strike a balance there, right? So again, you know, it's all about knowing the rules, knowing when to break them, how to break them, you know, and how to employ them, right? And follow the rules, and you know, so yeah. But that's art, man. That's art. Finley, he's going to be used on the tabletop, so I went for more of a neutral lighting. I do need to work with mood lighting. He's sort of box art, but none of the colors are the same, if that makes sense. Yeah, kind of. I'm not familiar with it, so I have no idea. I'll probably have a look later, and yeah, so yeah. Finley, very cool Star Wars, Blade Runner, heavy metal mag stock. Yeah, exactly. I mean, but that's the stuff that I grew up on, so I'm heavily biased toward that stuff, right? Because again, it's kind of like early 40K. It's like Road Trader, right? These things are precious to me, and you know, they're very dear to me because they were heavy influences on my own outlook on a lot of this stuff, right? So, you know, it's kind of where I fall back on, you know, for imagery and, you know, the influence of how these things, because these were the very beginnings of these kinds of genres, right? So, yeah. Jabba's Left Nut. I think Eddie is saying, Who wants to be gaped first? He might be saying that. We don't know. You know, you're gonna who are you to put words in his mouth, right? That's exactly what he could be saying. Who wants to get gaped first, right? Who wants their cheeks clapped? Reinvented modeler. Hey Kris, how's things? Things not bad. Broken any model lately? Broken? Well, I took apart the sister recently. I actually patrons got access to this stuff. Or actually, sorry, the first part. The second part will go up. Well, Patreon will probably get it tomorrow, hopefully, as long as I can. I got to take care of some shit, but hopefully I can get it produced for tomorrow. But yeah, so the sister from McFarlane, the artist proof. She's all in parts over here, but yeah. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. She's broken. She's all in parts right now. Like, see, legs, just some legs. She's in pieces, man. She's in pieces. She's falling apart. So yeah, broken. I don't know about broken, but and of course, yeah, I got my Imperial Fist Bandai Marine, and so he got the rock head. So I just have a Imperial Fist helmet sitting around. Finlay, thank you very much for your feedback. It's super useful. No problem. Yeah. Reinvented model. Yeah, I gotta love the Blade Runner. Yeah, exactly right. Finlay, if you want to look him up, he's Armand Lamette from Infinity. Yeah, I'll have a look. Reinvented modeler. Haha, I meant you mint and boxed last week. Mint and boxed last week. What? You lost me. I meant you mint and box last week. I don't know what he means. It's code. Why? What did I work on last week? I don't know. We were talking about gaping this week. What were we talking about last week? I'm just going to assume we were talking about gaping last week as well. Evan Belleau. Heavy Metal magazine was what I immediately went for on the magazine rack while my folks were shopping in the supermarket in the early 80s. Mind blowing. Yeah. Oh yeah. But I mean, like, I was only looking at Heavy Metal magazine because boobs. Because, you know, boobs. I mean, you know, what can I say? I'm a guy. Boobs. Reinvented modeler. You're struggled to open it. Oh, the box. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I struggled. I mean, pain in the ass. Like, I don't understand why they got to design those boxes to be fucking Fort Knox. And yeah, yeah. Evan Belleau, what is the gape count in this episode? What is the gape count? That is the question. That's a good question. What is the gape count? Alrighty, if you're wearing headphones, turn them up or down because here it comes. Because we're gonna holy crap, we're at 40 minutes OT. Jeez Louise, how? But I don't know how we went 40 minutes like this, but anyway. Talking about gaping. See, I go on for hours about gaping. Anyway, if you're wearing headphones, turn them up or down, because here it comes. Email time. Email time. It's unfortunate for anybody who's just listening because you missed out on some pantomime there. This one is my first Marine. Oh, interesting. From Senior Pinor? Is that how you would say that? Senior Pinor? A Peener? Is that a joke? Is he making a joke? I had said in a live stream a while back that I was getting some Mark III Marines to paint in a pre-heresy 1,000 Sun scheme, and said I would send you my progress. Here is my first Marine I finished painting. I hope to get more detailed and faster with my work over time. Thanks for the inspiration. May you have a great day. Christian. Okay, so let's have a look at Christian's First Marine. Okay, first of all, First Marine, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. You're having me on. Nobody's First Marine is this clean. Lies. You're telling me lies, man. You're telling me lies. This is too good to be somebody's First Marine. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You even tried to pull off some OSL, and you have a very thin glaze going on. That's why that looks in those eyes. No, I'm gonna call. I'm fake news. This is fake news. This is fake news. I'm calling fake news. This is too good. It's too clean. The red is too smooth. No, you're having me on. No, this is really good. I'm playing. This is really good. Yeah. Excellent job. I like that you went for it and did some OSL in the eyes. Your edge highlighting on the bolt gun and looks like on the gold is good. Yeah. Getting faster, I mean, that just comes with time. Practice, right? The more you do it, I mean, but if you bought like a big force of these guys, you have like 500 of them, yeah, you're going to be a master of painting these guys by the end. And you'll probably also be blind from looking at so much red. Yeah, but no, it looks good. You slap some decals on there and this guy's ready for the tabletop. Yeah. I mean, I can see there's little boo-boos here and there. Yes, that's fine. It's not a big issue. But, I mean, overall, for what, if somebody said, yeah, this is my first mini. Hi, I'm 13 years old and this is my first mini. I'm going to have to call bullshit. Am I saying that this could win in a Golden Demon competition? Of course not. Let's not get ridiculous here. But for somebody who this is their first model, or are you just saying that this is your first Space Marine and you've been painting other stuff? That I believe. If you've been painting other stuff, I believe that. And this is your very first Space Marine, technically, then yes, it's a good job. But if this is your first mini ever, yeah, I have to call bullshit. I'm just teasing. Really good stuff, man. Awesome. Yeah. It's really good. Nice and clean. And yeah, he's ready for the tabletop. And yeah, it's good stuff. I was just teasing. Alrighty, next email is from good buddy B-Man Openwatch. Currently working on my Curse City. I'm not happy with the weapons. I way overdid it with the weathering. Can I salvage it, or should I just repaint the sword and poleaxe? Also, how would you go about painting wood to make it look old and weathered? And so let's have a look. You're not happy with that weathering. The weathering is not, I don't think there's anything wrong with the weathering. I like that you have the green and orange elements in there. I mean, it kind of conflicts with the idea of what exactly is corroding here. The amount of texture it creates, I like the little stuttered highlight along the edges, like the bright silver and stuff. I like that. Honestly, I kind of dig it. I don't think it's too much. In the armor, and I see the sword. By contrast, the cloth almost feels like Play-Doh next to something very realistic. That was rude of me, sorry. But yeah, unless like I'm going to assume this is work in progress. Yeah, this is work in progress. As far as making the wood, yeah, see, I dig the vibe. I dig the vibe on this. I like your treatment of the metal. Little heavy on the weathering, sure, but I mean, you know, that's just character. I honestly like it. I don't know about everybody else out there, but I like it. Yeah, I think the highlights on the black of the armor, I think could be toned down a bit. I think creating a texture in the cloth might help balance it out. Maybe that's what you're feeling, is that because you have this really rich texture going on all the rust elements, that everything else is feeling kind of smooth and quote unquote cartoon like with other elements, right? You're introducing this kind of realistic element into what otherwise is kind of, plasticky, I should say, I don't know. It's, yeah. I mean, I like it. I like the rust. As far as aging the wood, well, I mean, the texture obviously helps. But I mean, if we're just going to shift color, I mean, use desaturated. The wood could also have more of a gray, right? You could start with gray and build up to the off-white. If we're going with Citadel, it's a bone color, right? So you use a darker gray. I would go with more of a neutral gray. I wouldn't go with a blue gray or anything like that. Although you could. I mean, it's your model, paint it however you want. But I would recommend, starting off, say, with like a gray. Or if you, added a gray to a brown, started as the base, and then add your bone to it to bring up your highlights, and then, used... you can just build it really from there. I mean, if you wanted to add more shadows, I suppose you could give it use like a black or dark brown to shade wash, and just keep a little bit of warmth but knock some of that saturation out of it by using a gray. You could also go with that as well. And creating a texture, I mean, like, that's really just brush control and taking your time and either drawing the wood grain or just going in and doing a bit of a cross-hatching kind of thing, where you're creating little dashes and lines along the surface. And, if you work the color up brighter, you can, create more visual interest in it. Although it's kind of the same thing I would recommend for doing for the cloth, if you're familiar with cross-hatching. If you're not, you can look it up. It's not a complicated thing. You see many miniature painters. In fact, there was somebody who did a bunch of cross hatching on cloth. Oh, it was this fella on Twitch. He used to be Houndstooth. He goes by Voidbrush. He was just streaming last night, and he was painting this. I think it was this model, and he had this really great texture on the cloth, and it was basically just a cross hatching technique. And it looked great. On the front, it almost had this like Giger biometal type of vibe almost. And I was like, I was like really looking at it at first, but then he was showing the backside, and it was more or less, he was just creating a cloth-like texture on it. Kind of like a burlap sack kind of thing. It had that kind of heavy, like it was big threads kind of thing, right? If that makes sense. But yeah, I dig it, dude. I don't think the weathering's too much. I mean, okay, if we're gonna get realistic and nitpicky about, green and oranges on a metal surface, I mean, where's that coming from? I mean, again, we're talking about a skeleton man holding weapons and shit. We can't claim realism. Can't claim it, right? Because it's an undead warrior walking around, and he's, got his polearm and sword, and you know what I mean? Like, it's made up bullshit, and so made up bullshit. You're free. You are free to paint it however the fuck you want. I mean, it could be red metal with green rust. Why not? You know what I mean? Like, you can go anywhere. Do not restrict yourself when painting made up bullshit. You're only hurting yourself creatively. And I like your treatment of the rust. I like it. I wouldn't change a thing, honestly. Maybe a bit more attention paid to the edges and highlights and stuff. But I like on the top of the polearm head, like that curvature. I don't know if that's the ambient light or if you put that deliberate bit of silver in there. If it was deliberate, bravo. If it's just the ambient light catching that edge, I would imitate that with silver, a little bit of silver, and just catch those little, and just kind of stutter step your brush across and catch those edges. It gives a kind of a irregularity onto that surface. But no, I wouldn't. Honestly, I wouldn't change the job. I would tone down the highlights on the black though. At least here in the pictures, they feel kind of bright. But that's just me. Yeah. I realized that he initially had commented about, wanting to, change something about the weapons, but here I am commenting on something that he obviously probably was quite happy with his results there. And here I am saying, no, I would change it. But no, yeah. So hopefully, B-Man, hopefully that helps. I think I like it. I like it. Again, for me, what changes is the armor. The armor, the highlights feel a little too bright. But again, it might be the camera, because if the armor does feel very black in person, then yeah, leave it. Yeah, I would probably introduce a texture into that cloth. But if you're not looking to spend a lot of time, then carry on. I wouldn't change the rust. I like the rust. I like that the orange and the green elements, the teal elements to it. It's very desaturated. That's why it doesn't really conflict for me, because like I can see the color, and I can see like the rust, the orange and browns, but they're not very heavily saturated. And the green, the teal, like the verdigris, is not very heavily saturated, and so it doesn't really conflict. It feels more abstract on that surface, So it doesn't bother me. And again, I mean, if we're talking realism, fuck off with realism, because we're talking about a skeleton man walking around in armor. You know what I mean? Realism's out the window. Forget realism. I mean, you can bring realism, elements of realism into it to add gravity and, ground the subject, but being very rigid about it is unnecessary. It's unnecessary. But thank you, B-Man, for sending that in. Awesome stuff. And hopefully that helped. And if you do make changes, send pictures. Excuse me. What time we at here? Holy camolies. 54 minutes OT. Where am I in these comments? Oh, B-Man, you are here. I thought you left. I thought you said you were leaving. Fucking guy. Hiding in the corner. He's lurking. He was just hiding. Fuck's sakes. Fucking guy. Coma, you should just change it to the best 180 minutes of the hobby. At this point, yeah, I know, right? Dark Commission. Kris has a high GQ this week. Gape quota. Quote it. Oh, fuck. Reinvented modeler. Nice one, Kris, for encouragement to the space. Yes, nice one, Kris, for encouragement to a 13-year-old kid on Space Marine. Well, I honestly, I don't believe that I mean, even a 13-year-old. The very first model, I mean, like, my first model when I was 13 did not look that neat. That smooth a finish. That much control. Even to bother highlighting. Even trying to go for the OSL. No, that's way ahead of where I was. If that's a 13-year-old, if it's 20-something-year-old, and that's the first model ever, and I mean, like, yeah, good. That's still a good job. I'm not trying to say the effort it wasn't there. It's a good job. For just paying attention to all the information that's out there and compiling it, and okay, I'm ready to take this on and do it. For a first effort, it's excellent. It's an excellent effort. I'm not trying to take away anything from this person's effort. I was making jokes, but that's just because, I mean, maybe it's my own inadequacies because at that age, you know, or from my first effort, I should not even, age doesn't even really matter. It's just the first time putting paintbrush to a miniature, my effort did not look like that. And so, yes, it makes me feel inadequate. There we go. We got to the nitty gritty of it. I'm inadequate because of my small penis, really is what it is. Yeah. The B-Man, I put the silver. Yeah, okay. You did put the silver there. Okay. So it wasn't just like, you know, the light, ambient light. Awesome. That's fantastic. I honestly, I wouldn't change a thing, dude. The rust on the metals and stuff like that, I think it looks fine. It looks awesome. I like, why, like, realistically, why would that orange rust and the verdigris, why would that be on the same surface? Make up whatever bullshit reason you want. You know what I mean? Like, normally your surfaces, when they have oxidization, you have one or the other, right? Unless, of course, you're arguing alloys, which case you would get something else. But, you know, what, I mean, again, you go back and forth and back and forth. And, you know, I mean, like, it's ultimately fucking pointless. So, like, I think it looks fine. It's fun. And, yeah. So, yeah. You just got back. Oh, you just got back. Oh, okay. All right. Dark Commission. I was 49 when I painted my first mini. Aren't you 49? Reinvented model. Yeah, I miss being a kid. You know, us adults are so pedantic sometimes. Yeah, when you're a kid bashing is the world of ignorant bliss. Oh, I don't like ignorant in just in the most strictest sense of the word, that you're just, you know, you just don't know about everything else. Not ignorant in a negative fashion. But yes, I agree. Oh yeah. I still have it. I have no idea where it is, but I have like one of my first conversions and the first time I ever worked with green stuff. I've been meaning to show you guys because it's one of my early paint jobs where I was still like really heavily dry brushing everything. But basically I had saw it in a White Dwarf where this person had, I can't remember who it was, they had converted and they had cut like a skeleton face, a skull in half and put it on the shoulder pad, but then blended out the edges, right? So it looked like it was pressing forward through the armor. And I had done that on a Terminator. I had a Terminator head, or a skeleton head, a Terminator head, a Skirminator. I can't speak anymore. Skeleton face with the arm poking through, like it was like he was coming out of the shoulder pad. And I also had like the other side had a Gene Stealer arm, and it was like blended with the Terminator. Why I was doing all this, I have no fucking clue. I don't remember why I was doing it. I was just like, fuck it. It was a metal Terminator with a plastic Gene Stealer arm and a skeleton popping through, and I remember doing it kind of like, I think it was like a Blood Angel scheme. So I had like the Gene Stealer arms, but like it was an orange, right? But then the claws were like, the hand I think was purple, or maybe I did the hand flesh, like it was his hand. I can't remember. I have the model somewhere. I don't know where. It was that and an Ork Weird Boy. They were like some really old paint jobs of mine. Like when I was still a teenager, like when I still had teen in my age. Maybe 13, 14, 15, somewhere around that. So yeah, it was quite a while ago. Coma. I had a break for 20 years when I got back into the hobby, but painted Warhammer in my teens. I have the first Marine. I painted a metal Beaky Marine. Oh, you still have your first model? Yeah, that's cool. I don't think I do. For whatever reason, I mean, some of my first miniatures was the Space Hulk models. So it was Gene Stealers and those plastic Terminators in the first edition of Space Hulk. And then I remember buying, some Ralpartha D&D dragons and some knights. And then I remember getting some 40K models. I had no idea what they were. There was like little, they were Imperial Guard. And I can't remember what I think I even tried to paint them up like stormtroopers or something. Yeah. There was a bunch of models. I was buying models just because they look fucking cool. I know, I was just, yeah, whatever. And I like the Terminators, and I remember reading like the lore for Space Hulk and about they're Space Marines in the hallways fighting the aliens, and because I loved Aliens, the movie, the James Cameron film, and yeah, again, those two, and yeah, I was done. I was already in. So yeah. Reinvented Mauler. Ha! I did the same. I did that kind of thing to King Henry and the 8th figure. I did a great job back then. Okay. Coma. I painted with enamels, I think. It looks like it, at least. Yeah. Same here. I was painting, well, because I already had a whole bunch of enamels because I was doing scale modeling, right? I was doing cars, I was doing Star Trek kits and stuff like that. I was already building models. And so it wasn't much of a leap for me to jump into that. And, yeah. Enamels? Oh, yeah. When I was talking about the Imperial Guard model, oh, even my Space Hulk models, the Terminators, yeah, I'm pretty sure I painted enamels right on top of the plastic. No primer. Primer? Pfft. What was the primer? I didn't even fucking know. Primer. Pfft. Like my scale models and stuff like that, like not using a primer on scale model kits, not really that big a deal. There's a lot of paint. A lot of people who do scale modeling don't even throw a primer on the model. I know it sounds like heresy, right? But yeah, because enamel paints, they'll just stick right onto the surface. They'll just stick. Doesn't matter. Sticks right onto it. You can't get enamels out. You pretty much have to do a seance and then burn it ritually to get get enamels out. Get any on your clothes, forget it. Chuck it. Coma. All the practice lost and all those years not painting. I'm right there with you. I've had many breaks, just because of real life, and when I was a teenager, it was, when I was between girlfriends and stuff like that, it was, young guys got to do something with his time, and yeah, it's amazingly enough, I got any painting done really, because between school, work, girls, yeah, partying, yeah, it's amazing I got any painting done. Not that I partied a lot. Not that there was a lot of girls. What was the other parts? School, right, school. What was the third thing? If you need help with your color scheme, maybe you want to show off what you're working on. Maybe commission painting service. You want to show off what you work, or want to show off your quality of work. Whatever it is, I don't care. Send your emails to Kris at wayofthebrush.com. If you're going to send pictures, send them as attachments in email. Don't send those links to other sites because pain in the ass. And yeah, always feel free. Just ask whatever questions, or you just want to show off. Whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Just send your emails. Or if you're on the Instagram side of things, you don't feel like writing up an email and you want to share what you're working on, use the hashtag WayOfTheBrush. Use the hashtag WayOfTheBrush. And I'll show. I've been doing it lately and I've been trying to keep up with it. So feel free to just use the hashtag WayOfTheBrush. And yeah, I'll see it and I'll do it on the show. So you'll use the hashtag. Don't worry if I don't heart it or thumb it up, whatever the fuck. Don't worry, because I'm saving it for Saturdays. So it's just so for me to keep track of what I've seen and what I haven't seen. That's the only reason I don't do it. It's just so I can keep track of it. It's the only reason. So feel free. I will see it eventually. I will, no matter what occurs. I will. Anyway. Also in the description, email, wayofthebrush.com, Central Hub for Cinemas, social medias, Discord, join us there. Join us on Discord, it's a lot of fun. And of course, yeah, in the description below. T-shirts there as well. Get yourself a t-shirt. Look good, right? Patreon, huge thank you to my patrons. Oh, you guys, no pretty lights, no videos, no tutorials. I'd have to go find regular work and probably have to take a break from this shit I've been doing this 10 years professionally. Making videos, tutorials. 10 years I've been doing this. It's a long time. 10 years. What have you done for 10 years? That, right? It's not a whole lot of things that we can all say, oh, I did this for 10 years. I did this for 10 years. And it's still going, right? It's 10 years. I'm lucky. I'm very lucky. I consider myself very, very lucky that have been able to do this, you know. Considering that I went to school for art. Like, I have an art background many, many years, since I was a kid. And, yeah, I consider myself very, very lucky that I can still do this. And this stuff has been, you know, part of my career path, right? I mean, like, many, many years I've worked odd jobs and, you know, did this and that and had nothing to do with art. You know, I went to college for art and, you know. So, you know, I consider myself very, very fortunate. It's not lost on me. As opposed to other things get totally fucking lost. Anyway, Patreon. Huge thank you. Joining Patreon. Please. Please. For God's sakes, please. Help. Big thank you to Carl Guy Merrill for Beer and Blood. Check it out. You always take time to thank Carl, even though he is no longer with us, for creating the email jingle that played before the email segment of the show. So always much love to Carl. And of course, speaking of love, much love to my baby bro, Mr. Evan, for creating the intro, outro music that plays at the begin and end of the show. So always much love to my baby bro, Evan. And if you're into rare comics, check them out. EB Comics. It's in the description below. EB Comics. Rare comics. Rare. Like, rare. Oh, fuck. All right. Dark Commission. Great show as always. Bye, Kris. The monkeys. Later. Reinvented Modeler. Cheers, Kris. Have a good day. Nighty night here in Old Blighty. Old Blighty? Is that an English saying? Is that something people say in the UK? Old Blighty? I don't know. I'm not familiar with that term. Old Blighty. Reinvented model. The Mandalorian. What? Mandalorian. I don't know what we're talking about now. I saw Mandalorian. I was like, oh, Mandalorian. Oh. England, yes, okay. It's like, yes, you fucking dummy. It is England. Who the hell talks like Old Blighty? I assumed old. Like, to my ears, that kind of expression, I don't know if people actually say it. I never heard that when I was over there. But, yeah. When I hear something like that, that sounds like pirate talk to me. That's something I imagine like Captain Jack Sparrow saying, you know. It's that kind of shit. So, to my ear anyway. But I mean, yeah, I'm in Canada, so everybody's like, hey, we're everything's okay. So give your fucking nuts a tug, eh? The B-Man. Yeah, see you next week. Thanks for the tips. Yeah, no problem, man. Alrighty, folks. I'm getting the hell out of here. You guys go enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Get some painting done. And, you know, yeah, just stay real. Stay real, folks. Keep it real? No. Stay real? I fucked that all up. Oh, wait. Take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you. And I will see you guys next week. That's what it is. There. I was lost. Fuck. Must have been all the gaping. That does look like the face of a man with a small penis.